Futures downside slightly here as we get going on a Tuesday morning. It is an interesting one. We have some inflation-related data coming up this morning on the manufacturing side. We'll get more later in the week ahead of non-farm payrolls coming out on Friday morning. We'll get the first jobs-related report coming up later this morning at 10 o'clock as well. Ton of things moving around so far pre-market. NIO out with their latest earnings. We'll talk about that. Back to the upside. Back to the upside this morning for GitLab as well. GTLB, huge move here after a surprise beat. CBS moving around. Take-Two Interactive up on a positive note. Chinese ADRs downside here. Moody's cutting their credit rating on China in general and their economy. So under a little bit of pressure outside of, obviously, NIO with a decent report. It's Tuesday, December 5th, 2023. Tradertv.live starts now. Yeah, let's look at the overall market right now. We are still holding on to the bottom end of the range. If you're looking at the NASDAQ, SPY, very similar. Yeah, big day for gold yesterday, back above 2,000 and then some, holding nicely in that area this morning. So we'll touch on maybe some gold stocks. We don't really talk about those a heck of a lot, but a lot of them with a pretty good day yesterday. Crude oil back downside this morning to the tune of about 1% just before we came on there. Yeah, well, 0.75 right now for oil, so energy downside. NIO, though, nice look here, 4%. I mean, it's a $7 stock, so 4% not going to be a huge move for it, but decent anyways coming off their earnings.
Yeah, they're making cars and they're delivering. Good. We'll talk more about it in the rundown, obviously. But yeah, nice year-over-year, quarter-over-quarter jump. They also acquired a Chinese or state-owned automobile manufacturing company that they're actually partnering with right now to actually make their the chassis for their electric vehicles. So it looks like they're acquiring that company completely. We'll see how they do the rest of the day.
Yeah, XPeng not really doing a heck of a lot this morning. Li Auto I saw up a little bit, as I'm sure you did as well. Neil taking an extra day off today. Obi back with us. Good morning, guys.
What's up, guys? I just downloaded the new version, so I'm trying to figure out what's going on with my charts here. But yeah, so far so good. Welcome back, Obi. It's a Tuesday. We've got our white mics on. I can see here. It's very nice. You know, we have different mic colors, so surprised you went with the white today.
I did the white yesterday as well.
Oh, did you? Okay, I like it. I like it.
I couldn't. I know there's a black one right there.
Market okay. I mean, you know, looking at the S&P and the NASDAQ here today. What did you just show there?
I was just like, market looking all right.
What does this mean, though? Yeah.
Got the sticky note stacked.
Wow. All right.
No,
I'm
I only got 2 more left.
You only got 2 more left? Good.
Yeah.
Okay. No, I have a whole bunch here for you if you want. But no, that's great. I was just joking about this. You know, that's great that more people are doing it, of course. Shout out to Sharif for the roll call idea that he came up with as well. Okay, so 15, right now, 15,800. So basically, we're trying to hold. And right now, this 15,700 from yesterday, you know, that's going to come into play here. I think today you're down 0.5%, or you were down 0.5%, now only down 0.37. I'm still bearish today. You know, leading in, I have Palantir up here on my mind. I want to see that 18 bid come through again. Let's see if we can get that. What a disastrous day yesterday it was for Palantir. I mean, down 10%. What a crazy move there in a name that I want to buy up. But then I was looking at this and thinking, I don't really want to. I said this yesterday. I feel like we can somehow, Palantir just has a crazy way of like, well, all these stocks, right? It's been such a big week, such a big month, November was. And then now you're just trying to fade back into maybe some more reasonable levels. But I really like this name. We saw Uber yesterday with its inclusion into the S&P 500 was also a big banger there yesterday, where we shorted $61 and now today it's 58. So it looks like we were right about some of these plays. I think Palantir is one of the next inductions into the S&P, so I think that's going to be a good one. Look at Uber continuing its move higher, and then really how the mighty have fallen, man. NVIDIA off of its best ever quarter, off of one of the best quarters ever, period, for a trillion-dollar company, down over 10% from that day on that move, and looking to break through 450. So I feel like there's some more pain coming a little bit, especially if this comes through. So yeah, let's look at 450. I've got AMD on my mind today, in and around 120. That looks like that's going to be a fun trade, you know, in those levels. And then I also want to look at, and I don't want to ignore, we traded Carvana a little bit at the end of the day there yesterday, Obi, and that was quite the mover. You know, in a day where the market may be a little still and quiet, I think you want to look for, you know, stocks like a GameStop, like a Firm also. A Firm yesterday was a big one near that $40 mark. I think a lot of these names, these sort of hot garbage stocks that have really ripped up, are going to eventually fall back down. Like, you know, you think a Firm, like this is a valuation move to the upside, or more of a technical break? So, I mean, you broke through 26, you do have a big short float, and now you're hovering up here at one, you know, very soon. I mean, just whatever. By the end of the year, this name will be back into the 20s. And right now it's $38. So, you know, you just got to try to catch some of these tops. 39 looking pretty good for a Firm as a top that I want to look at. So anything interesting for you today so far?
Yeah, I got, I guess, a GitLab on watch.
Okay, GitLab, a
I know
good
we're
name,
going to be
yeah.
covering that one a little bit later, but GitLab, some strong move off the earnings there, but looking left, there's a few levels just underneath that 60 there. So let's see if we can kind of, we're already holding below this earnings reaction kind of consolidation underneath that 61. So I am looking for a potential continuation, maybe a little bit of reversion back down if the bid doesn't hold, but that 58 area would be interesting as well. That's what I got on watch today.
All right.
Hi.
Hello.
Coffee?
Yeah, I'm drinking
Coffee.
right now.
All right, meanwhile, here's Bitcoin. Just ticked down below 42,000 once again, but still holding up very, very nicely this morning after that monster day yesterday. Better part of 6% at the highs. We essentially ended the day at the highs after testing above that 42,500 even late in the day. My chart's not loading all the data here, but I saw a couple of people mentioning this Hoth, 10.5% for HOTH. Yes, it's traded more than 2 bars worth of data this morning. Again, my chart not working right now, but heads up on that. Positive FDA note I saw. GTLB, as Obi was saying there, 13% holding on to aftermarket levels for GitLab. But yeah, 40,000 for Bitcoin comes and goes. Ho-hum, now we're 42 almost and change, holding as support here.
I'm smirking because all my friends who post about Bitcoin all the time were silent for like 6 months, Brendo. Now they're all
Nobody
of a
wants to
sudden,
talk about
everybody wants to talk about it, and everybody wants to say, "I told you so. You should have held. There's more upside." So yeah, we'll have a look to see how it does. Obviously, we've got a few tailwinds. I talked about it yesterday. We've got the spot ETF that's on the verge, on the precipice of getting approved. We've also got the halving event coming in May 2024, and usually in the run up to that date, you have you know, accretion in the actual price itself, and then obviously with interest rates, with you know, the market pricing in that the Fed has done, the more speculative assets continue to run.
Yeah, a few of the individual equities moving around here this morning as well. Once again, coin trying to hold that low from yesterday morning right now in the pre-market, still down about 1% on the morning after a bit of a fade yesterday after the gap up.
Taking a picture of my sticky note so we can post it up.
Should I be doing that as well?
You should do that as well. Yeah, put it on your socials. Okay.
I don't got any socials, you know me.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Okay, so yeah, look, Bitcoin, I mean, what a great move that's had, obviously, but Coinbase to me, I mean, we talked about trading Mara, we talked about trading a bunch of different things the last couple of days, this Bitcoin, and I actually talked about this with Michael Noss there yesterday, and he was talking with Crypto Burb Adrian Zadunchuk all about this, and the thing about Coinbase is, I asked him, I said, why is this up 100% in the last month? And he said it's because, and this is what Adrian told him, and so I'm just sort of parroting this from Michael, is that all these ETFs are going to be holding and using as custodial Coinbase there to continuously buy and hold their coins, their Bitcoins, on exchange at Coinbase. So like when you file for an ETF and there's more inflows coming into that ETF, you have to buy more spot Bitcoin or Ethereum or whatever the ETF is. So that makes sense. If they're all listing Coinbase as the custodian, then that's going to mean more volume coming through, better name recognition, and possibly, you know, hosting a whole bunch of trades over there on Coinbase. So that's what he said. That makes sense to me. However, if Bitcoin continues, I mean, it's not falling, it's still at 42,000. But if we can, you know, get down to that downside, there's that 137 there. I just see that as the bottom. I would much rather fade any pops to the upside. We were trading that GBTC yesterday, and I think it was in and around these, yeah. So it was in and around these levels. So we don't have any prints coming off right now on this name. But you see GBTC yesterday did have that dip down, and then we started shorting up in here. I mean, it was 33.60 that we shorted. A nice little pop into that. So again, with crypto moving around, let's see if Bitcoin and GBTC could do something, as we have gotten a couple prints here early. So we are holding near these highs. I like Bitcoin. I like all these names. Mara with the short float as well continues to work. This probably takes out 15 bucks today. That high of yesterday into 16, 17. Remember, you got some garbage up here near 17 and 18 bucks. You got to clear through that. I like the space. I think there's a lot to trade here. And Bitcoin, I mean, I don't know. I didn't sell anything down there. I don't see what the reason would have been to sell something at lows. I could see someone selling 30 to 35 to 40, which is where we are right now. You're not even that far away, man. This BTC is up 153% or something this year. So as it continues to climb higher, I mean, you're just going to go over to, let's just go to a 30-minute chart here. I mean, it's holding, right? You still got some nice levels that are trying to hold. It's right near 42,000. That break of 42.3 is what's going to matter. And I think if we do break that high, you get to 45, right? Every single time you're having 5,000. Let's go to the daily chart here if we can. Where is daily? On there, 1 day. Okay, I don't see a daily chart. But the point is that 35 held. Then we got to 37 half. Now 40 holding. Now 42 half. So we're just kind of bumping up, right? Every 2,500, every $5,000, which is amazing for Bitcoin. But there we go. You know why it's called? I think it's, what is it? We talked about this last week. National Pizza Day or something, or Bitcoin Pizza Day, where the guy spent 22 Bitcoin on one pizza. And that was basically the first ever recorded kind of transaction for a Bitcoin there. And it was 22 of them. So that guy must have been jonesing for pizza, but at the time, of course, Bitcoin was not valued where it is today.
Yeah, that was definitely an iconic moment for just crypto history, right? Like, I feel like a lot of people are like, oh, if he could have held, that pizza is worth so much right now. But yeah, sure, you could say that about anything, right?
I hate those kind of stories.
The fact of the matter is, like, that action had to have happened for crypto to be where it is today, I think. I think over time you make those initial kind of steps to
shows
really
proof
bring
of concept.
Proof of concept. I think that really reinforces it. But yeah, taking a look at some of these Bitcoin names again. Sean already covered Mara a little bit there, but I think that 15 level on Mara is a little bit interesting, a little bit of an over/under just from yesterday. What's going on?
No, so I didn't mean to interrupt. I was because apparently it was 10,000. It was either 22,000 Bitcoin or 10,000 Bitcoin. Shout out to Dan and Brent.
I don't remember the specific, but yeah, it was something like.
Yeah, which is even worse. Like, I guess 22 Bitcoin.
Yeah.
It was probably only worth $1 or something a coin, right? So the guy might have not accepted that, but wasn't that funny? Wild.
It's funny to think about. Like, we were like always like, okay, what if, but. It is what it is.
And now we're looking at Marathon. Do you own any Mara or anything? I don't own.
No,
I've never owned any of these in my own account.
I have the miners, no, but I've traded them.
Yeah, of course.
Traded them.
Yeah, good short float.
But in terms of owning just a few coin, just a few shekels of the cryptos. But yeah, this 15 is very interesting to me here. You can see that once it got below it, it couldn't really get back above. A little bit of pre-market action. Let's see what it does going forward with it today. But yeah, we've got to keep an eye out on Bitcoin and also ETH to see if they're going to be doing any moves so we can catch some sympathies on these names.
All right. I wanted to talk about Take Two here. Downside a little bit this morning. It's marching its way back higher. But TTWO, I think it was this day. It has to be this day. If you go back a couple of weeks ago, this thing ripped up about 6%, I think it was, on the day. on heavy volume when they announced that the trailer for this new Grand Theft Auto game was going to be released. So we get the trailer, I think it was after the close or late on yesterday evening, and then a big gap down this morning. So a little underwhelming, I guess. I'm not a gamer, obviously. I'm not going to sit here and say I am, but yeah, downside here for TTWO.
I have a connection with this game. I played Vice City, so I like Grand Theft Auto. Guys, it was supposed to be released. I'm talking about the trailer. It was supposed to be released today in about 15 minutes at 9 o'clock. It got leaked, forcing the company to move up the release of the actual trailer itself. It got leaked on X yesterday. The game's not coming out until 2025. This is how much exuberance there is behind this game. But like I was telling Adara off camera, it looks like as if they're going back to their roots where they're going to really take their time to make this game rather than rushing it and trying to generate early revenue. So we'll have to see how they do.
2.5% though, but straight back to the upside here so far, guys, for Take-Two.
I actually want to buy that name. My kid, of course, keeps wondering about the ratings. I keep telling him, you can't play games that have kind of bad rating because he's been wanting to play GTA 5 forever. And a big shout out to Vice City, man. I remember rolling around Miami there and playing on my PS1 or 2 or Atari or something. And it was a fun game. I could even imagine what it's like right now. But that TTWO, I want to buy it. I really think that you got to play some of this hype. And I mean, obviously the release date there, not for a little bit, but up that 2.5 or down that 2.5%, but really up. It marched. It had a great little run over the last little while. Remember, we had the buyout of Activision Blizzard, of course, with Microsoft. So if this is a hot, we weren't down. No, that didn't hit 147. Oh. It's because we get some bad wicks there. So yeah, I don't think that we're going to get down into 147, 148. But I think if you can come into the 50-period moving average, like one bad day, and the NASDAQ could be like that today, into 145, I think that's a buy. And I think you buy it, you hold it for a little while, and you see what happens. Video games are going to be hot. Now, I haven't done, like Brendan, not a gamer over here, but haven't done the research into what other titles possibly, maybe Obi, you would know, but what other titles they have. I just think that, you want to play some of this gaming sort of hopefully tailwind in this name. Obviously, we saw yesterday with Uber, and I was like, sell the news on the inclusion into the S&P 500. So maybe on release date in 12 months or whenever this is going to come out, then that's a buy the news situation leading up to that. But I think for now, your money could be safe in this. And I believe they give a dividend. I'm going to have to look at that. But Take-Two down 3%. Anything into this 140 area, I like it. And I think it's worth a buy. A lot of consolidation. Might be a place to hide for a while in case this game does take off. And maybe they do get some buyout rumors floating around with them. So I don't know. I like Take-Two here.
Yeah, I think, again, Vice City was one of the only GTA games that I got pretty serious about playing. I didn't really get into the ones that came after, but good memories indeed. But yeah, these guys, I didn't know that these guys own Rockstar Games. So
right, that's who it.
That's a little new for me. But yeah, they also do. I'm looking at some of the other games that they do. NBA 2K24. They run all the 2K games.
They do the 2K games. Okay,
so that's pretty
cool.
solid. But looking at the chart here, we just recently had earnings on November 8th. So earnings reaction kind of range right here. Take a look at that. You stay in that 145. 145 was also that day one support. So we're holding above that. Down here, the low's at 136. I don't know if we're going to be able to get all the way down there today. But these highs right here at 153s, we're knocking on the door of those. And we got a little bit of overhead as well. But definitely some interesting price action to be expected with the release or the leak of that new trailer for the game.
We're just reading some comments here on Amazon on the UK CMA market probe into their cloud. Amazon saying Microsoft uses licensing practices that restrict customer choice and make switching more difficult. So just checking out AMZN there. It's down anyways this morning, but didn't really react to anything as far as comments are concerned. Do we have Jeff ready? Okay, let's bring in Jeff Mendel, head of broker-dealer sales over at OTC Markets. Get a look at what is moving around. Good to see you, Jeff. I have to apologize. I was tied up when you were in the office last week and I missed you. But how are you? Good to see you.
You were missed, Brendan. We had a great time up there. What was it, last Thursday? It seems like yesterday. But yeah, so Sharif did an amazing job. He grilled me on some new points, and we actually had a nice little open discussion. So it was good.
Amazing. Tell me what's on your mind this morning as far as what's moving around. How's the week been? How's the volume been specifically? I mean, a little bit down heading into the holidays here across the board, I think.
Yeah, I mean, right now, obviously, with the crypto market, we're seeing a lot of movement in GBTC and ETHE. Right, they're moving around. They're moving around a decent amount, and also there's a lot of trades going off as well too, with some decent volume. We spoke a lot about that last week, but those are the grayscale products: GBTC, which tracks Bitcoin, and ETHE, which tracks Ethereum. So two great names to kind of look at, especially right now with GBTC, trading above 40,000, or I mean, with Bitcoin trading above 40,000. There are some other names that I actually want to talk about today, though, and so we talk about this once in a while. So here at OTC Markets Group, a lot of Canadian names that are listed on the TSX and the CSE also trade here with a 5-letter F share. And so a couple of the names that I'm seeing a little bit more activity in yesterday specifically was Curaleaf. So it's a name that you guys probably talk a lot about trading in and locally in Canada. But Curaleaf also trades here at OTC Markets. It is CURLF. The ticker is CURLF. And so that's an example, or a good example, of a name that has that interlisted type trading style. So yesterday it was up over 7% here at OTC Markets.
It's been we're just going to pull up that ticker for you, but it's been a pretty good couple of weeks for the cannabis industry in general. We got some surprise earnings out of that sector, but great point for anyone wanting exposure to some of the names listed up here, maybe in the Canadian landscape down on the OTC. Again, CURLF. This is on our PPRO 8 system here at daytradetheworld.pk, but OTC listed again. Yeah, huge day yesterday, up more than 7%. We've had some weakness in Chinese listed names over the past couple of days. Today, it's looking like a lot of the ADRs coming out of China downside a little bit. I know we talk about Luckin from time to time.
So Luckin Coffee also, I believe, was pretty active yesterday. Here, let me bring up the chart on that one. Yeah, so Luckin Coffee right now, it looks like it's down a little bit in the pre-market today. That's LKNCY. We talk about this one pretty frequently, but yesterday there's some decent volume out there on it. Another Chinese listed name, DIY as well too. So another name to kind of look at. And then there's also Tencent as well, TCEHY. And so I think we talked about this a little bit last week. It's a great way to continue trading some of the volatility that's happening overseas here during U.S. market hours.
Great stuff. Jeff Mendel, head of broker dealer sales over at OTC Market. Good to see you.
Thanks, Brendan.
Yeah, what's up? Thanks, Jeff. And we did have a fantastic time, and a big shout out to the OTC Markets and Jeff. I mean, what a great guy. And thanks for those nice words about Sharif. And of course, we already looked at GBTC today, and quite frankly, yesterday we were trading this name live here on the show and showing everybody that, we were playing off this bottom, and we did have a 33 break short as well. We did miss that long, but the levels are pretty good here, right? I mean, we don't quote everything in the pre-market, but you're going to start to see some fills coming through here. And as we talked about Bitcoin up and around 42,000, I really like this name. I really like Ethereum Trust as well. And when this market opens up, you're going to see there's a lot of liquidity on these levels. So don't be afraid to trade these. I was just telling that to Obi right now about the OTC markets and, you know, formally and known as the pink sheet sort of. 1820 there. I just think if the market starts to blast, you do want to come over here. There's a good sized volume. You could see, you know, volume at the bottom, you know, volume when we're trying to spike there. So it is very, very similar to all kinds of names. And if you want to trade any of these, I think that's a good idea. And then Luckin Coffee, I mean, another successful, you know, offering, because they came down to the pink sheets. I think it was like $2 or $3, and you know, really holding some levels. And of course, as China comes through some debt issues, and we're going to talk about that on a downgrade today, yeah, this could be another hot name to look at in the Chinese space today. I mean, again, from $36 all the way back down, really a lot of volume, you know, easy come here, especially in the open. So I have to figure out, I have to put the title, like I don't have the, you see I don't have the time down here, like I actually have to hover over to find that, so I'm going to figure out what's going on there. But yeah, Luckin Coffee, GBTC, ETHE, some good names over there on the OTC markets. Have you ever traded over there, Obi?
I've dabbled a little bit. I guess I've dabbled a little bit in the GBTCs every now and then, but yeah, we were just talking about how liquid this specific pink sheet can be sometimes. But yeah, definitely some strong trends there on GBTC, again following along with the Bitcoin. And yeah, that dip yesterday, that craziness. I think we've spoken on this before, like the volatility and the illiquidity in pink sheets kind of makes it a little bit of a finesse to trade.
Yeah, you just gotta, like I said, I feel like depending on who your broker is, you know, like we can access that OTC link quote, which is pretty automatic, as well as the ARCA quote that we have on our system as well. So, and then we have Fox River, I believe it's called, which is another routing key that we have for that. So yeah, no, there's a lot of liquidity there. It's just, there are different rules, and I don't know if they talked about that last week with Jeff or not, but you know, there are different rules where they can hold quotes and hold orders and things like that, so it can get a little spicy over there, but that's part of trading the market, and you just sort of got to know the finer points of it. It's kind of like when the NASDAQ halts, you know, you got to get your halt order in, and there's just different market structure there with the OTC, but hey man, talk to your broker and you should be able to execute market on open orders, market on close orders, limit orders, market orders, so on and so forth. You ever traded OTC markets there, Sharif?
I have. Have I? I'm trying to think if I have or not, Sean. I'm familiar with it. I know that they don't really open before 9:30. That's kind of what I know about that.
All right, let's get some analyst moves here for you. Upgrades and downgrades. Zadara has that over at the big screen.
Some interesting names here, including Crown Castle, getting an upgrade from Wells Fargo, Datadog getting an upgrade from Scotiabank, Fiserv up about 0.5% right now after getting an upgrade from BMO Capital Markets, and Hamilton getting an upgrade from Citigroup. In terms of downgrades, Lululemon kicking off the list here with a downgrade from Raymond James, price target of $4.95 here. Albemarle and Livent both getting downgrades from Piper Sandler, trading a little bit lower as a result. And last but not least, Hilton with a downgrade from Wells Fargo, guys.
They always say, like, you know, I have such a bias against Lululemon that it's probably better that I don't look at it, because there's no way I would go short that company. Okay, so just looking at Datadog then, another upgrade coming through for these guys. I mean, they're down here today. That's just going to be because of light volume. But look what happened to Datadog. They are. I was looking at this the other day. I'm not in this name. You know, we've talked about cybersecurity, data, you know, big data. Palantir is going to be on the sticky note if and when I ever get it out. But look at this 120 area coming for Datadog. I mean, that is a great top. Looks like it wants to break through it here. Now we actually finally have a reason for it to break on this upgrade. So that most recent, I just wanted to zoom out so I can show you how far this goes back into August of 2022. So you are quite ahead right now. But it's this level right there, 120.50. So we're only at 17.50 right now. But to get 3% up on Datadog today takes that level, 2% from here, takes that level out. And I think we can do that. So bouncing its head a bunch of times off of 118, 119. Let's first take that. And then let's just mark it down. We'll write it down. And then we'll see about taking this as a break. You do not, I repeat, you do not want this break first thing in the morning. Like, if this breaks, in my opinion, If this breaks like 931, 932, that could just be exuberance on the, on the upgrade, and people could take that as you provided the liquidity. Now when it's done, it starts to get right back into the downside again. So for me and Datadog, I feel like, what's up, Randy? I feel like this is going to be, I'll take another coffee if that's what you're asking, Randy. I feel like that's going to create a nice downside move. So just be careful with Datadog. I like the break, and I'm going to pass over Lululemon to you.
All right, yeah, a little bit of a downgrade on the Lulu there, but nothing really to laugh about here. This is in a very, very strong uptrend. This is just the 15-minute chart. We'll pull it up on the hourly, and you can really see the effect here. Posted up and propped up by these earnings reports, which keep on you get that consolidation hold, and then it slowly just stair-step to the upside here with a little bit of acceleration over the past few weeks. Moving into December here, especially significant last Friday with this crazy move, this break of 450. I'm curious to know whether 450 is a previous level here, and it seems to be, yeah, right there, that consolidation from previous highs. It would seem that these are all-time highs right here at that 485. So getting a little bit of a downgrade today, but holding up in terms of price quite well on the bigger picture. I think that 450 could be definitely interesting if we continue to hold above that and maybe even get above these prices here to continue on towards all-time highs.
Oh, man. We were just hearing that Lucid Air has been named to Car and Driver's 10 best list. Didn't really respond to that, but in its first year of eligibility, the stock, didn't really respond to that. But again, the Air being named to Car and Driver's 10 best list for Lucid. Let's talk about the market here. Shree's going to kick us off with a look at the futures.
45.76, Brendo. That's where we closed off yesterday. The overnight high is below that level. 45.73 is the overnight high. The overnight low being that 45.50 level coming into play again. 45.55, the overnight low. Like I've been saying, I guess, for the past almost 2 weeks, look for 45.50 as that support level. It held yesterday. It's holding this morning. If we're going to move up, look for yesterday's close, 45.76, to be resistance.
Yeah, tight range continues to build here for the overall market. If you haven't done so, make sure you grab that. Free for you every single day. Go to watchlist.tradertv.live or scan that QR code, enter your email address, and then you can just have that yours every single day from us to you. NIO, top of the list this morning, coming off their report. Better than expected, really. Still a loss, but deliveries, I wanted to note here, down here, 55,432 in Q3. 75%, Sharif. Didn't compare to Lee.
Yeah, it's okay.
But still not bad.
Not everybody can be a Li Auto, Brendo. No, of course. Kidding, of course. I'm obviously involved in Li Auto, full disclosure. But good vehicle deliveries for NIO, especially for a company that's focusing way too much on sedans and not on SUVs. Let's talk about that. They delivered 55,432 cars in Q3. The Q4 deliveries, their guidance coming a little bit lower. They're looking between 47,000 and 49,000, which is still up 17.5% either year, quarter over quarter, or year over year. No, sorry, 17.3 to 22.3% year over year increase given that range. Q4 revenue also coming in above expectations and also up about 0.1 to 0.4% year over year. So not a bad look.
From a performance standpoint, we've been noting the fact that both Li Auto and XPeng have been catching up to NIO. But interesting, the founder and CEO pointing out, according to retail sales data from China's Automotive Technology and Research Center, the company still with a 45% market share in China, ranking number one in Q3 versus the other two. But as we said, these other two have been kind of catching up over the past little while to NIO, but not a bad report.
Yeah, look, some of these names have to get off the mat at some point, right? This Neil will be happy because he was waiting for a 7 break, so he doesn't have to wait for that anymore because that number looks pretty solid there. Sharif knows, has done the research about some of these Chinese EV names and going back and forth with it. He's sort of anointed Li Auto as his favorite, which is no, but that's good. I hear him laughing in the background. I'm trying to give this guy some compliments over here. But yeah, Again, like we're going to talk. There's another story about China that we're going to get to in a couple minutes there on the weakness, and this name up, but it has faded out a little bit here today off the top. It's not a huge move. It's only 760, and when I look at the daily here, I still feel like you're going to run into a top here at $8. So I like to short it. I think if we can get into 8, 850, something like that, that's even a better short. But I want to short ahead of this 50-period moving average. So for me, I'm not a huge fan of any of these EVs. I think NIO could squash and gain a lot of market share if they could repatriate these cars back. Well, not repatriate, they're a Chinese company, but bring it back over here into North America. I believe they could sell a lot of these sedans. Now with Tesla trying to make that little smaller car, hopefully coming through at some point there, maybe that doesn't matter then to get a NIO car over here. But, you know, good delivery numbers. You gotta like the stock today. I feel like it's dip buy opportunities into here, into 7. Like with that kind of a report and all the negativity around Chinese stocks today, I could see us dipping back in as profit takers come to this name. So if that does happen, I still think you want to look at 7, 7.25 as possible support there for NIO. But honestly, man, I have on my radar today, and like I've been really trading Intel real well. I've been trading AMD real well. We smashed Palantir over the last couple of days. They're all on my radar today. So to put NIO somewhere in that list would be a distant 5th, 6th, 7th name that I'm going to be trading here today. So if you're going to look for some NIO trades, it's going to have to be either that short in and around $8 on a bump or a long back down near 7 flat. I'm still biased to the short side for Chinese names. So for me, it's going to be tough to get that long, but I will play support down there near $7. Congratulations, NIO's been a nice move. Anybody that's been playing off of $7 bottoms. We can also, I'm just waiting to talk about China, so we'll wait for the weakness report coming through. But Obi, what do you got on NIO? Why do you keep muting yourself, bro?
I think that's 7.
He's not still muted. Now they're just playing with you.
All right. It was not
easy,
muted.
Fabian, over there.
All right.
This is my guy over here, you know. Take it easy. Nobody say nothing about Obi.
7 is a decent support. Thanks, Sean. 7 decent support, but a little bit of an overall trend happening here. Very clear coming in to that 7. So yeah, we are up on earnings, but look at this trend here. I think it's very significant. If we break above and kind of start holding some of these levels, yes, the 8, the 850, I think we can start to potentially look for a long there. But yeah, these are some pretty extreme lows there. This is a 4-hour chart, and if we look at the weekly, we are kind of just in the middle of all-time lows there, kind of down here. I think this thing has split a couple times as well, right?
Which thing?
NIO?
I don't believe so.
No? Okay, so I guess we did trade down here in the $2.
Oh yeah. That's when the Chinese government came in and said, nope.
Right.
We support this company and that. But that was near the COVID, right? Wasn't that? When was that?
This was April, March 2020. So okay, yeah. So we still have room to the downside if we do have a proper breakdown. I think this right here, this shelf at like 5 is definitely interesting, but that 7's got a par first.
All right, let's go on to Apple here, touch on India a little bit. I was just reading a note here on Block as well. It's not really moving, but an analyst suggesting 54% upside today for Block on a price target hike, so heads up on SQ. Yeah, interesting note from India talking about proposing a rule that would change the charger port similar to the way that the EU introduced that and then had it pass. So Apple made the adjustment already, but Apple coming out saying that if they do that, local production would be hit and downside a little bit, so heads up on that as well. This kind of popped out at me this morning as well. 24 gigs of RAM in the new OnePlus flagship phone comes with that. That's not even an upgrade.
You know how much?
That's a ton.
Like a MacBook Pro with 24 gigs of RAM. Do you have any idea how much that costs?
I mean, 16 gigs in a MacBook Pro is $2,000, $2,400, something like that.
Yeah, it's an interesting look here for Apple. We know that they're obviously looking to shift a lot of their production to India to decouple a little bit from China. We saw Foxconn exploring building a factory in Vietnam, etc. So we'll have to see how this sort of political situation looks and how they end up resolving this. But yeah, Apple's really the only Mag 7 name that's up on the day, Brendo.
Yeah.
Everything else red.
Yeah, holding too nicely here after being relatively weak yesterday.
I thought that they were changing all their charging ports anyways to go to the I know it's in Europe, but even here, I thought their new iPhone was going to be USB-C anyways. So I don't know if they're producing older models maybe in India, which they're trying to sell maybe a little bit cheaper, or they're trying to possibly get rid of old inventory.
Yeah.
I don't really understand the story, to be completely honest with you. But the fact that Apple's up today, if you are bullish on the market, which this guy is not, but we are above VWAP right now. We're hovering around. We're not doing a heck of a lot. We are well off the bottoms here again today. So I could see something happening here for Apple, and I could see it starting to rally a little bit, to be honest with you. This name, that bottom yesterday, wow, what a bottom at 187. I didn't even realize we had that huge move. We were short AMD and everything else. That was a great move yesterday, obviously, to come back in and watching Palantir fall, similar to this as well. But that 187.50, I don't know. It's up today. I like it. When you're looking at a chart of Apple, you really have to be, I feel like, bullish on the market right now, because this 192 is sticking out pretty much like a sore thumb. We have numerous days in a row here, and I got to figure out the bottom labels here. I just don't have them, and I haven't got a chance to go over. But, this 192 is a nice top. I still say you fade that. I mean, look at this really aggressive climb for Apple, right? The whole market in November was super hot, but we stopped at 192. We stopped there back on whatever day this was, and then I guess it was about a week ago, and then mid last week, we stopped at 192 again. So if you're going to look bearish, I think that that's a key level upside. And then bullish downside, yeah, that 187, 188 again, I think you can sort of buy some of the dips. But for me, I'm a little disconnected from the stock here today because it's up against a weak market, and I'm still bullish, bearish, especially with the chip names looking to take out key levels. The sticky note is now out. We have AMD is short there, near in and around where we are right now. So I like the short better in some of these chip names. It's 119 if you haven't looked at the sticky note yet. So if we can get any sort of a pop up, I want to look here instead of with Apple. For right now, I'm surprised it's up on the day. This news doesn't seem great, but at the same time, Apple continues to work. Their service revenues are huge. Their wearables are huge. So forget about the MacBook and all the iPhone and stuff like that. Those are always going to be there as a staple. I'm excited for Apple services and wearables, so I like the stock up here. It's just I don't like the market. So it's going to be tough to trade Apple, but a short near 192 gets me excited. I just don't know if we get there today.
Something in the chat talking about, oh, this is old news. Something to remember is Apple is a great company that takes like old tech and old news and brandishes it as like breaking, bleeding edge, brand new. And yeah, of course, people get sold into it, and that's perfectly fine. But in terms of price action on the chart, you've got to remember that yesterday out the open, while the rest of the market was kind of dropping to the downside, strong quadunk, Apple was holding relatively strong for the most for the earlier half of the morning before it did kind of follow in step. And I think that's something to consider if we are seeing a little bit of a disconnect coming in today on Apple. If we observe that the futures are kind of to the downside there, a little bit of a downtrend, not as significant as yesterday, but I think definitely some levels to watch out for is right here. This 188s, 187s, 189s as well. Kind of this previous support level over the past couple of weeks. We kind of bid right back above it after breaking below it yesterday. So this level to me is still holding quite strong. So that 189 is definitely interesting. But yeah, I think I definitely agree with that 192 as well. I was looking for that 191 yesterday. It seems like it might give it to us today here off the 190 hold. I think this price action from yesterday, these prices right here, the close, are all significant levels to potentially watch for on Apple.
All right, GitLab, huge move this morning, 62.5 at the top already. But gapping through anything that resembles resistance on the daily chart here. But better than expected report across the board. Surprise profit in the quarter for GTLB, up 12.
Yes, sir. Beating on the top and the bottom line. Revenue grew nicely year over year, 32%, 149.7 million. The street was looking for 141 million. The story here is interesting. The co-founder is talking with Amazon Web Services. Amazon announced this last week, I believe, about integrating Amazon Q Work Assistant with AWS. So that's an interesting look with respect to guidance. They're looking for revenue for Q4 of 157 to 158 million. The street was looking for 150. So the guide beat on top bottom line.
I just counted 12 as well. Speaking of 12, positive analyst moves on this stock this morning as well.
That's the exciting part about it, is the analyst moves, honestly. I mean, the thing is that, you know, you get a little push through here on GTLB. I mean, what a good, you know, kind of middle finger to the shorts. It's not even that big of a short float, but it's a nice move up, man, 13%. And again, another name that's pretty recent, short float, 8%, 13% to the upside. But we have faded out a little bit here. And if you kind of zoom back out, I'll just use this daily chart here for GitLab. We've taken out this level of 55. That was important. And if you join me on the market recap show, we talked about this next level there of 60. So when that broke up higher, we started then to look up here. What about $70? So today, GitLab, and again, I don't know why this doesn't show today's daily print on there, but now you are above that $60 and trying to hold it. Obviously, I can see that we've come below it, but it's the $60 that we're trying to bounce around here. I like the analyst upgrades, but at the same time, I don't think we get above 63 here today. So I would look to fade this, but I could see some shorts wanting to cover because you're getting this move down right now in the post market, post earnings, but pre-market now today. It's a huge move up. I feel like everyone's celebrating, but if you didn't sell up here and you wake up today and you're in the money 12 or 13% with a red NASDAQ and the NASDAQ looking lower, I feel like you could come down. Hey, look, if they faded, guys, they faded Salesforce down $7 on earnings, right? Now, I know this is a $248 name, but please don't compare Salesforce to GitLab. I mean, I think Salesforce, obviously the market cap and the business that's there and the total revenues and everything that these guys do. If Salesforce is going to get faded off of their earnings call, bringing it back down, I think the same thing is going to be true here for GitLab. So I don't know if I can find the exact day. Here it is. This is Salesforce earnings, right? 230 up to 252. Salesforce opens up. We hit that pre-market high again. See GitLab $63. Then all the way down with a nice fade, down $8 that day there. So if you can think the same thing could happen to GitLab as would happen to Salesforce, I feel like that's a definite possibility. As of course GitLab, you can't change it over to NASDAQ. So there's that pre-market high. I just feel like it looks a lot like Salesforce. Salesforce gapped up 12, 13%, hits the high, then gets faded. I'm looking to sell GitLab up here near $63. I think that makes sense to me.
Yeah, I think I'm just doing some charting here. Pull it up on the weekly just to point out some support and resistance levels here. A little bit of a shelf here going into this report. Just right there underneath that 54. I like that 58.70 as well. You got a little bit of a weekly wick high happening, and we're hovering right above that. And there's a little bit of a space until some significant resistance all the way up at 70. So let's take a quick look at the 15-minute chart to see. Take a little closer look at this. So yeah, I think if we can hold above this level, this 58.70, I think we might be poised for a long. We've already kind of started fading off of these earnings reaction highs. Going into the 60, we're already broke below 60, but that support potentially is at 58. But even stronger support is all the way down at 54. So I think interacting or watching price action in and around some of these levels could be interesting going forward today. I'm definitely going to be watching this 58, 59 level for potential spicy tape going into further fade.
A bit of a downtick here for Microsoft, probably unrelated, but Microsoft just coming out announcing deep search, quote unquote deep search, a new Microsoft Bing feature that will provide even more relevant and comprehensive answers to the most complex search queries. and deep search what a deep search is, because I have no idea. Oh well. Let's talk about Chinese ADRs outside of NIO, as I was mentioning, downside this morning for the most part across the board. Here's Alibaba down 1.2%. Moody's coming out cutting their credit outlook on China's economy in general across the board this morning. So again, outside of NIO off earnings, everything kind of looking like this.
Yeah, China's government credit rating got downgraded to negative from stable. Essentially, what Moody's doesn't like are these bailout and loans that the central Chinese government keeps providing with local governments who are in financial trouble. It should be noted that they did keep their credit rating, or I'm not sure, but long-term rating, excuse me, as A1. You know that the top is AAA, obviously here. We'll have to see how they do. They also mentioned China's credit default swaps, which is basically the cost of insuring against a government default. They didn't change anything with respect to that rating.
Yeah, the steps downside continue, though, for most of these. I mean, this is Alibaba, as I mentioned, but most of the daily charts kind of looking like this.
Yeah, so we, we've been talking about this FXI for a while, and it's broken, man. So I'm not long this name. I think I want to get long FXI. Like the more and more, we talked to Michael Noss yesterday on the market recap show about passive investing. He doesn't like it. I kind of like it. And I just think that's buying ETFs, right? It's like dollar cost averaging, like not really worrying about your portfolio, just buying things as they go down and, not just getting in and out of them and trading them and trying to hold. You guys can look up passive investing or no, you don't want to be a passive trader really, but anyways, down into here, I like this FXI, but I mean, we could get back into those market bottoms very, very soon. If you like Chinese economy, you like the China name down there, I think you can buy this. But I think heading into an election year, I feel like that's part of the sort of the tailwind or the headwinds, I guess, here for these Chinese names. I mean, I don't, Taiwan, some of these market and economic impacts that could come through if there are any sanctions. I mean, the thing is like, I don't know if China eventually walks into Taiwan and says, you're now ours. I don't know if there's going to be something like a Russia-Ukraine situation. And we saw some of those economic embargoes, like all those multinational companies, they basically pulled out of Russia. Right? Like, have they now set the precedent? Are they going to do that to China if this comes through? So I'm a little bit worried about all of this. I don't know if the government, I mean, they're not a capitalist society. I don't know if they're going to step in with more stimulus for a lot of these names. I mean, look at Alibaba. What we once thought was, not once thought, the market gave this thing a $320 handle at one point. It's now $72. I mean, the numbers that these guys put up in Singles Day and everything like that are monstrous, but yet it can't get out of its own way. Like this name just keeps on tumbling. I like Chinese name. Like if you look at what Alibaba's doing, their numbers are really damn solid. But at the same time, too much debt. The government's not going to cover them. So now you're going to have to watch out for some more downside moves and possibly into the 60 area. I don't know, man. I think we just want to short pops in China until we hear something better. But honestly, for right now, I think it's a downside move.
Yeah, I think that the pressure coming off the past couple of years of crazy action that we've had is definitely taking a toll on this ticker as well. I think a lot of bags indeed kind of going into that 2020, 2021, even 2022 move on the backside as well. But with respect to some levels here, I did have these marked out a couple months ago, and we can see that we've slowly kind of faded off of this resistance here at the 120, and then we're coming back down. But all-time lows down here at 60, only about 13 points away from some of those levels here. Definitely looking quite weak there. Similar thing with PDD and the JD here. I guess PDD a little bit stronger than BABA, kind of coming into that 150. So a little bit of a distinct difference there on the PDD. This could be a very interesting kind of move there. But yeah, JD kind of looking very similar to BABA as well. Kind of slowly just bleeding off to the downside. Can't really get back towards any of these highs. But I definitely agree with you, Sean, there on the shorting the pops into this downtrending range. So yeah, weakness on China is definitely a little bit, I think maybe a little bit more of a longer term focus, but yeah, definitely capturable opportunities on the daily if you are looking for the short side when it does pop.
All right, let's wrap things up with crypto talk here. After what happened yesterday, huge move higher. We are still holding, for the most part, to the upside as far as crypto individual coins are concerned. Here's Robinhood, 2.5%. They came out with better than expected numbers, including 1.4 billion in net deposits in the month of November. So that's a huge improvement month over month. 75%, meanwhile, uptick in crypto trading volumes, obviously, with what has happened. But a nice uptick here for Hood today.
Yeah, it's interesting that you mentioned that, Brendo, because they started making the majority of their money off interest income, not actually trading volume. So this is going to be good for them for that to start picking up again. Yeah, we're knocking on the door of 42,000. Looks like we're about to break it, possibly maybe sometime in the day. Again, I mentioned this a few times at the top of the show. A few tailwinds here. We've got the spot ETF that's on the precipice of being approved. We've got the halving event in 2024, and we've got, possibly the Fed done raising rates. So the more speculative assets continue to run.
Yeah, $8 to 10 in a week and a half here for Robinhood. Nice move on the daily chart.
Yeah, that bottom of $8 is pretty juicy, but so is the top here of 10. So I feel like, again, nice move for sure. It's like a firm. It's like all these names that I just not certain about. I bought SoFi. I was looking yesterday. We bought some SoFi at 717, and then we bought some at 665 on the way down, and it's getting a nice bump up as well. But look at this $10 mark. I mean, it's actually, now that I sort of see this more specifically, let's not just throw out random levels here. It's this 1025 that's come into play. It's actually 1020, but up there at 1025. I think now it's right there. Now it's right here. If we break that level there, then I think we go, and then you use this 985 or so, because right now you're just bouncing up against the 200 period. I use the 200 period as support and resistance, but it hasn't meant anything really here. It was kind of some kind of resistance up here at 10 before, and then we did get a bounce area, but in and around here, it's kind of been bouncy. So I think we could take this out. And again, the Robinhood, it's not a name that I love, and I think that if this is a great swing trade name. It's only 6% short, so it hasn't really gotten extended on that short float yet. So I like Robinhood, but I think because I'm a little bit, and I know you've turned your little guy over into a bull there, Obi, but I'm short bias today against that 1030. So let's see if it breaks through 1030. Remember when we opened the show, where was the market? It was right here. I said I am bearish today. It's on the sticky note. We started the show talking bearish. Since then, we've dropped down about 50 handles. So, let's wait to see what's going to happen here with the NASDAQ as it's starting to fade out a little bit here. Remember, I was like, I don't like Apple today long because of the negativity in the market. Well, Apple hasn't moved at all on this move back down in. So we got to make sure that we watch out for Apple. If the market turns strong, Apple has held the bid. So something to look at. And then what do you have up? You have Robinhood. Okay. I just want to look at SoFi again because they had a hard time yesterday. What was it, around 8 quarters or so? Wow, that's pretty decent. Okay, come on. That's pretty fluky there. I just kind of threw that out there. 8 1/4 right there was the high yesterday. Now bouncing around again. Being negative on this market, I do look for a fade on SoFi again today, unfortunately for you traders out there. I think you can pick something up in and around $7, but watch out for SoFi at that 8 1/4 level. So Robinhood break long 10 1/4, SoFi break long 8 1/4, but we obviously today being bearish, I prefer dip buys. What do you got, Obi?
Yeah, no, I'm just looking at that 10 break you're talking about. I think that's pretty solid here. If you look back here, a little bit of a confluence with earnings reaction high right there on November 7th. We were pretty much knocking on the door of this strong selling action that happened before. So I think, yeah, if we can sustainably hold above this level and get through that 10, I think we could have the potential to be off to the races there. But taking a look at the little bit of a longer term chart, we've sold off quite significantly. But yeah, that 10 break could definitely give us that 11, 12, and then that 13 seems to be this consolidation range high that we would need to get past if we're looking for anything past 15, I think.
All right. Yeah, so we were just talking a little bit. I mean, that was supposed to be a little bit about crypto with Robinhood there. But look, the thing about it is this market, like right now, it's too bad because I just called up AMD. I mean, we were talking again about we were just looking at AMD at 18. Now it's at 1750, right? So, I mean, this was another name that we called. To rewind the time, just 20 minutes or so when we were really, really bearish. Now look at this nice little spike up in the market with only 30 seconds to go. So I'll get the countdown, although no one's over there. Here comes Adara. I'll promise to hit it at the right time now. Right now, yeah, shout out to everybody that had Jake Browning there yesterday. That was a play that we gave everybody on the market recap show. If you're betting NFL with me, you're 5-1. We're 5-1 on our Monday night football picks, Thursday night picks, so that's pretty banger. Another one yesterday as Browning sales way over 217.5, and the Bengals get the win. We'll wait to hear on Trevor Lawrence today. All right, 5, 4, 3. What's up, Adara? 2 and 1. Here we go. All right, nice aggressive move there. Thanks, Adara. All right, let's go. Market trying to move around. Bitcoin still above 42,000. AMD cranking a little bit lower here. As we are a little bit disappointed that we don't have the short already, as levels are starting to get taken out right in front of my face. And there's really not much I can do because we are not playing this very, very early breakdown. Some support, if you get it, if you like the long, watch out for 1650. I think we could probably try to play that, but we'll wait to see what this market does. It's AMD to the downside. And let's just check out Apple here real quick. Apple, look at that.
191.
We talked about it being strong, man, holding the market upside, and there it goes. Congratulations if you played that rhetoric that we spit out, because there goes Apple, man, all the way to the upside. Good trade. We knew there was strength there, and I'm not shorting Apple today, so watch out for that. Palantir coming in as well into low 18s. I don't mind this rate here. I was waiting a little bit lower, but maybe it's time to buy some PLTR.
Yeah, I'm just again patiently waiting. We saw a little bit of what happened yesterday. I came in guns blazing and tried to force some biases on the market. I think today I gotta be a little bit more patient. Let some price action kind of print itself. Look for some consolidations, maybe some direction. We were looking at Apple. Apple is super strong off that 190, which I really like to see. And yeah, just watching Softy and Amazon as well, kind of going the opposite direction. Softy a little bit weaker off of its pre-market levels there, not as strong as Apple. So let's see where Apple kind of starts to slow down there. I know that 190, 192 was interesting earlier on last week as well. I think last week Wednesday highs were just at that 192, and we're only about 50 pennies away from that. But showing relative weakness here on some of these other names like Google, Softy, and Amazon. So yeah, I'm just going to take a little bit of a cooler and just wait and watch to see what some of these futures do. Futures kind of knocking on the door of this high from this consolidation, 15.815s ish, and we pulled right back down into it. So I think once Apple kind of figures itself out and maybe potentially does a little bit of a pullback off of that 192, that could really bring in the pressure on the rest of these names as well. And yeah, a little bit of weakness happening, right? We talked about how Nvidia has been kind of selling off for the past 2 weeks, and this would be the third week in a row that it gets pretty red. There goes the 192 on Apple there, just blasting through it. No real size at that level. We just slice through it like butter, like nobody's there, right? So we're still continuing to the upside, and just no real reaction there on the rest of these names. Just Softy just kind of teetering in between these pre-market lows there. So like I said, gonna stay a little bit patient. So
yeah, good. Yeah, I'm already in two positions here. What's up to Shook Reels here? We are short. When in doubt, short Affirm. We're in it, baby. We're short Affirm, and we are long Palantir. What's up, Adara?
Hey, GitLab on watch here, following really hard just right at open there. This was really strong pre-market after earnings, recovering a little bit now, but that first candle very strong to the downside, guys.
What a surprise there. Thanks. Good update there, Adara. That was a good one. Yeah, so no surprise there on GTLB. I mean, I was like, I wasn't trying to compare this to CRM. It's just the upside move was 13 or 14% for CRM, and they faded that all all morning until eventually it found a bottom. So maybe GitLab does find one there in and around 57. But look what's happening with the firm, baby. Let's go. It's a nice little 30-cent winner now to the short side for AFRM. Another sticky note banger right there. And there it is. Let's take the profit, 30 cents. We just sit there on the bid and take that. Now we got to wait for our friend and Miss Kathy Wood to eventually give us a call right there to say, hey, yo, I am buying Palantir at these levels. So we are long right now on Palantir. And of course, she's not my aunt at all. She's my grandmother. But nice move upside there for Palantir as we continue to go. So let's wait to see where this name can go upside. I'm long right now at 13s. Just bought some 18s there. It's too bad because we did break back down below 1790. I'm trying to hold this until a 1750 break. So we talked about that on the sticky note there. It's 50 period moving average is 1775. So let's see if we can get something on that one. What's up to Kathy Wood? Here comes a firm back in as well. So just a couple names on watch. We did also say that maybe NIO would fall back in, but that's not really happening here. So again, $8. We'll wait for that kind of a short to come in. But yeah, so far so good, man. And Tesla, yesterday we really liked that 232 level. Didn't really look at it here today, but it did bounce off of that 233. And now Tesla, big time upside here off the open. Again, down 0.5% in the NASDAQ, up almost, it'll be up 1% soon as Tesla trying to get going upside right now.
Yeah, so a little bit of a stall happening here at that 192, and just got to keep it tight as possible is what I told myself here. So I'm just going to see if we do take a little bit of a pullback off of this previous resistance area here in and around this 192, kind of pushing very, very strong still on Apple though. So yeah, if this strength is going to continue like this, then I will probably peace out of this position there. Just in and around these 92 halves. Yeah, we kind of pushing very, very hard into this 192 halves. So yeah, the rest of the market kind of coming in. I can see Amazon. I was taking a little bit of a long on Amazon a little bit earlier and stopped out because we kind of came in a little bit too far back down into these pre-market consolidation lows there. So Amazon coming in that 144 potentially coming in for the long there, but I think that 145. We talked about how significant that 145 kind of is yesterday, and we saw that price action kind of happening in and around that area. A little bit of a churn, bit of a magnet of that 145 on Amazon. So it's headed towards that direction right now. So I'm going to be patiently waiting to see what we do in and around that 145 area here. But Apple can't stop, won't stop. This buying pressure is super, super strong here.
Oh, no, you shorted Apple? All right, I'll leave it with you. All right, look at a firm right now. Let's go. You want to talk about a short that's printing right now? It's a firm, 60 cents now in the monies to the downside right now for a firm. We do have a new position alert, though, right now. So let's siren it up. Bye-bye, Palantir. Wow, what? This is... like I say, man, Obi, man, you're, I mean, you know, Neil will be back tomorrow, but you seem to be pretty good luck over here. There it is, Palantir, nice move, man. We called 18. I mean, if you're looking at a sticky note level, let me see what this says. Palantir, 18 long. Okay, 1820 right now for Palantir. We had a firm short. We're watching out for that. And then we wrote down Intel upside in and around 43. But that's, we just got bid out at 77 right now as we continue to watch out for that. I think Palantir could moon here, guys, honestly. We got that bounce off of 1830. Wow, okay, I was like 1830 maybe a good out. But guess what? We there right now, baby. So let's go. There's a couple bangers for you. Again, thank you for all the nice talk in the chat. If you are looking for the sticky note, it's at TraderTV, Sean, and it's an absolute banger. I'm sure Patrick has made thousands over here. All right, back over to the floor.
AT&T, T is the ticker here, really strong right now, up almost 4%, about 3.5% to the upside right now, following the announcement yesterday that it's giving a $14 billion contract to Ericsson. This name flying right now, guys.
Yeah, I saw that.
Was that?
Oh, that was on our sticky note to Nokia. That was good.
Okay, so this.
Your mic is still live, Adair, and I think you did really great there. So, all right, here we go. Nice little downside move now. We've averaged into Intel, and we will see what comes through now. So, our average price here is 93. we could be wrong, man. The chips, look at this market. We are starting to bounce higher here. Could be wrong on this one, but here we go again. Look at Affirm still tanking, Palantir's ripping, and Intel's making the move down. I couldn't be happier. We're going to go tray for tray. That's 3 for 3 over there so far, as we're feeling like Steph Curry around here.
Wow. Nice trades there. Again, hit the short again a little bit after that stall. We did kind of get out at the top, but that's perfectly fine. We get right back in, and yeah, for the short, here comes Amazon 145 kind of coming in. So I'm gonna be waiting for this to kind of show me what it has at this level here. And yeah, we get stopped out of our Apple as well.
No,
right away, instantly kind of bids right back up into the 70s. But you know what? That's perfectly fine. I'm still going to be waiting, kind of waiting for that consolidation to happen. Here comes 145, a little bit of resistance happening. We did want to interact with this 145 when it did come in. So I'm going to let it cook for a little bit here. And yeah, exactly. So that 145, just if you're watching the tape right now, you can see that there's a lot of chop and a churn. I don't necessarily want to get involved right now. Let it kind of push through, come back in, and show us some weakness in and around that 145 to start to get involved there. That Apple trade, oh boy, it seems like that was a place to kind of stay involved there. So you know what, I'm gonna try to get back in right here. And what's going on, Sean?
You're going short Apple again?
Yes.
All right. I don't mind. I mean, the market did make that move up. So, I mean, just be very, very careful. But, I mean, when you're shorting other names like Affirm, then you get this, because right now, there goes Affirm now, 71 cents in the money on the very first trade we took today. This is a big one, man. We are just whoa, we're cruising. We're doing better today than we did yesterday, and yesterday was fantastic. Right now, Intel's absolutely making those moves, man. I remember when I told you when you guys were asking about GitLab, or it wasn't even GitLab, it was NIO, and I said on my radar today, Affirm, Intel, Palantir, AMD, and right now we spin it, we go trays up right now with a nice little move back into the downside. Look what Intel's doing. This is a graduating trade right here, and it's December 5th. This is a nice move back into the downside. I mean, that's shorting off 42. That's why I like Intel. You can use a lot of shares on this name and just respect the levels and try to be okay. It could rip up here. I mean, I'm only out of half of this name, so it's not like this is an absolute haymaker or anything that we're throwing around here. But anyways, it's a nice move. I'm more proud of this Affirm trade because I talked about some of these moves up, and I just wrote it down on the sticky note. I said, are we really taking 40 on Affirm? I mean, Cyber Monday, see you later, that's the rear view. Black Friday, see you later, that's in the rear view. So now, who's buying now, paying never? They're gonna see that very, very soon when that comes through. So we'll wait to see on this name. I do not like this name for the long term, and I don't like it for today, but we are getting out. I'm out of 60% of Affirm right now. So we'll wait to see on that one. The disappointing name for me, though, and I'm not going to say it's disappointing because we've made money on Palantir, but this name could get weak real quick, man. It just made that move up to pre-market highs of 1830. We cashed out. We have less than half, way less than half now that I look at it. I'll take some more out here at 11 just to make sure. Way less than half now on Palantir. Not the money maker that it was 10 minutes ago, but we'll still give it a shot. If it breaks below 18, we are not going to cash out. I have another bid down here at 1775. And then if we hit that 1750 break, which is the 50-period moving average, then we are going to get out of that piece. So there we go. We're almost in a dollar club right now for Affirm, and that's going to be a big one for me. So really, really happy there. And Obi, I don't know what's going on with your position, but the market is starting to rip back up.
Yeah, some strength there, definitely kind of coming in, but we're seeing the ES and the NQ kind of the ES kind of pulling back. The NQ is doing a little bit of a wick, but yeah, we did kind of break those tops there that I did mention earlier, that 815-ish area. So yeah, I think I do have to start to respect that a little bit there as that 193 comes right in. So I'm going to piece off of that one on Apple. Apple's super strong, so I don't want to get as aggressive with that anymore. I'm just going to, like I said, got to stay patient a little bit more patient as the 145 kind of comes right back in. I did want to interact with this 145, so we did have some solid strength into that 145. Let's see what we do with some of yesterday's levels as well. Yesterday open being in and around that 145 half, and we're just knocking on the door of that right now. But yeah, if this market's going to continue to stay very, very strong, that 15.7 I think was a low of yesterday, and we seem to be kind of pushing right back through, kind of raging towards that 15.9. We've already held and broke above that 15.8. So yeah, definitely the shorts are not really the thing to do off the open there, Sean. So I think yesterday I was looking for the long on Apple into that 191. That never really came, and it comes in today. That's pretty funny there. So that 146 coming in now. So like I said, I'm going to stay a little bit patient here. I did originally have the idea to take a little bit of a short.
Has this been on me the whole time? Oh, it's me and you. Oh, okay, cool.
I did have an original idea to kind of short that 145, but if we're going to push through that really aggressively like that, I do want to kind of step back a little, take a breather, and reassess. Because if this market's going to stay super strong, Apple's already done about 3.5 points off the open. This 190 hold kind of significant. So let's take a quick look left here on the chart of Apple, so we can identify some key levels here. So we can do that together, so you guys can see.
Let's go to Adara quickly, and then I'll tell you why Apple short was wrong.
Sure.
Just waiting for some economic data here. We're just getting that S&P Global Composite PMI finals. This came in 50.7 compared to the previous, and the estimate of 50.7. So no surprises there. The S&P Global Services PMI comes in at the estimate, so 50.8, a little bit higher than the previous of 50.6, guys.
All right, I don't mean to be trolling Obi or anything like that, but the thing about Apple was, and if you guys remember, just rewind the tape to 8:30, then to 8:45, then to 9, then to 9:20, then to 9:25, where I said, Apple is strong today. We talked about it, Obi. We talked about the relative strength versus the market. The market was down 0.5%. Apple was up 0.5%. And we knew that Apple had some kind of juice behind it. So look, I've made trades like that all the time, Obi. And it's just like, that's why I really talk to myself all the time. And, you know, shout out to my lovely wife that has to put up with me. It's just sometimes you got to decide a little bit earlier which way. And I said that that's the one thing that I really changed in myself. And I know that you're working through things, and we're all doing the same thing every single day. And it's just that you got to have first and foremost a bias in the market, and then find stocks that coincide with that. So the funny thing about this, Obi, is this is where we should go on the double screen as I'm talking to Obi here. Is that we had we're getting loaded up. Which way did you turn one of these guys? Right, you turned it bullish.
Yeah.
Then you went ahead and did what?
I shorted Apple.
The strongest name.
Yes.
Right, so it's not, I'm just saying you are right. You turned it bullish. You looked at the strongest name, and then you did what I do all the time, and that is counter trend trade, a name like that. So I feel like your stock selection is perfect. You had exactly the right way, dude. I mean, you called this market to the upside. So I just want to say, regardless of you going the wrong way and feeling bad about those trades, everything's great, man. If you just flip those triangles the other way. No, but seriously.
Yeah,
sometimes,
I gotta work on that a little bit.
I like the short in Intel, and it absolutely rips. Yeah. So you got out of it, you're still alive. So I got to say thumbs up for that one, because honestly, if I had bias like that and was wrong, I probably would have been absolutely destroyed. So I think it's actually a celebration there, because I can see what your situation is, and you're still in the game, and that's great.
Yeah, thank you. Again, I do want to kind of avoid the same mistake as yesterday, getting too aggressive too fast. So again, I got to follow my 3-strike rule here. Got stopped out 3 times on the short side, and Apple still holds in that upper kind of range of that action there, above that 193 or in and around that 193. So as long as we kind of continue to chop and churn, I will kind of stay a little bit away from that. But we also have another number coming up at 10. in about 13 minutes. So maybe having the real patience for that is what I should be doing there. But that 193 looking super weak right now. But again, there's opportunities throughout the day. We're going to be here all day. I don't necessarily need to kind of exhaust myself in this morning price action. I forget where I get this from, but something somebody said to me once was you gotta let other people pay for that information, right? So if it's like if I'm getting chopped up and I have a certain bias and it's clearly keeps on knocking me out, let the price action kind of dictate where we might be consolidating, where we might be headed on the day, and then kind of continue from there. And especially when there's market catalysts like economic numbers, you do have to stay a little bit more nimble than normal. So I think I will be trying to exercise that patience going forward today there, Neil. But yeah, definitely, I think you're definitely right on that, keeping that directional bias there. A couple of people have told me this, and I think Wayne and I were talking about this last night as well, just kind of going with that original bias that you may have, and really just looking for places that kind of confirm with your bias to get. So if I have a long bias, find places to get long. If it's not showing me the long, then maybe just don't do anything at all, right? So that's kind of the conversation that we had last night. And coming in today, you pretty much covered that same topic. So clearly, this is an issue, yeah, for sure.
So I now take you under my wing, my friend. Next stop for you, big things coming through. I just want to say a big thank you so much here. I mean, I've got the professor beside me, man. So Mr. Love Shack, that was one of the strongest teaching moments he's seen on the show. You're going to see a lot of strong ones coming up as we have an amazing, and the reason I'm bringing this up is that we have a great teaching show coming at 12 o'clock or 11 o'clock, 11 to 2 with Sharif and Adara. And I just want to say thank you for all the nice talks there. And someone said they need Sean to slap them around as well. No, it's just about teaching. And the reason why I bring this up to everybody is because I think it's important. We all have the same sort of issues every single day, including myself. So all good on that one. And if I was the best trader, there's many traders to learn from everywhere you look. So, and especially learn from something would be the sticky note in my opinion. And I should actually think about it a little bit more my damn self, because Palantir long at 18, it's now back to pre-market highs, 1830. So we'll take a piece out right there again as, it'll be a trophy lifting moment here today because we are 3 for 3, but we'll wait to see, man. There is more to come. Let's go over to AMD again here. I still want to look at GameStop. AMD was kind of been silly, man, because we wrote down 119, but I should have just treated 118 like 119. And guess what club it is, Obi?
Dollar Club.
Correct. Don't say it so loud next time. It is the Dollar Club as we're coming in right now for a firm coming. It's the Dollar Club, Sean. All the way back in right now as it's coming in. There it is. So there goes a firm. It just tanked off of 37 again. And I mean, we had this one. Another name that we were looking at for the short side. We did cover some Intel down there. Again and again, it's just one of those things where we are getting lighter and lighter on Intel as we watch NVIDIA, and we watch NVIDIA's not breaking 450, so that's up to 460. Wow, okay. That was a good level. We wanted to look at 450 as a possible break spot there for NVIDIA. So nice move back up. I'm still going to play with Intel. Intel's been a great name for me to trade over the last little while, so we'll keep on that one. But again, a take too much higher than 42.05 and stuff, then we will get out of that one. Thank you, Adam. Thank you, Dan, and everybody in the chat, man. It does mean a lot that we're able to put on a great show here. We've got Obi, we've got myself, we've got the professor, and right now we've got Adara.
Big news for Apple market cap wise. Now the largest market cap in the S&P, up 4-month highs actually right now as well, with a market cap of 3.002 trillion right now, guys.
Largest market cap in the world. Apple continues to go. That Saudi Aramco took a dip down with oil prices. So there it is. Yeah. Hey, man, exactly. Adam's saying he's got your back, Obi, and he's got all of our backs. And that's what trading's about. It's really tough to sit here and expose all the trading ideas. It's not tough to do that. It's just we have to slap responsibility on all of our trades. And I mean, when we're trading real money, showing you guys our ins and our outs, we're vulnerable, obviously, to making mistakes. And that's, I mean, if all of you guys were showing all of your trades and trying to justify some of the bonehead moves sometimes that you make, I mean, join the club, man. I'm part of that club, that is for sure. But not today, as we're going to watch out for a firm breaking down through 36, man. Maybe this is a hold. I don't know how much further now, but we're just going to do that as we look for some more names. So, yeah, all right. I feel like they've heard me a lot here, Obi. So, is there any other ideas that you have?
Yeah, I'm watching. I see that GitLab kind of did its thing there. We missed out on that little bit of a flush through that 58. We talked about this level kind of coming in, so we flushed down through it and then picked right back up. So maybe I'll be looking here now at the secondary test of this level to see if it gets kind of weak there on the GitLab. That 59 kind of holding a little bit as resistance there. But once again, only about 6 minutes left for that jobs number to come out there. So I think I'll be waiting. I do want to get in a little bit short here on this weakness at that 193 on Apple, but I'm going to be waiting for that market catalyst to kind of continue to look for a trade there on the short side. Like I said before, I did hit my 3-strike rule. The 3-strike rule kind of is if you have a bias or you're trying to exercise a bias in and around prices on a ticker, you get stopped out once, twice, 3 times. You either got to step away or find a place to go the other way or step away for a little bit and come back to it, or find a place to go the other way there. But with that market catalyst coming up, I think I will be a little bit more patient there on both of these names. As you can see, if you guys are watching, Softy as well, super strong to the upside there. So holding above all of these pre-market prices there. That 368 was interesting as well, as pre-market high area kind of broke right above. You see that it holds. Look at these wick lows. This is a 3-minute. Let's take a quick look at the 5-minute. So yeah, take a look at that 5-minute consolidation happening over these pre-market highs on Softy. So I do want to stay a little bit more nimble on the long side. If Apple is going to decide to continue to go up there, that's what we were doing. We were about to take a look at Apple earlier, a little look left there. So yeah, if Apple is going to continue, maybe we make some lows, some higher lows in and around that 192. Again, 192, a little bit of an interesting area that I did want to interact with. I did get short into strength through that level, which was, again, not the best idea. Like we said, or like Sean pointed out, when the market's super strong like that, you probably want to stay as nimble as possible on the front side. And yeah, that thing ripped almost 30 to 40 pennies almost instantly off of this 192 half kind of break there, and it did kind of stop us out a few times. So I do have to respect that pressure. If the buyers are going to show their hand right off the open like that, yeah, I did change the bear to a bull, but I guess I wasn't really expecting the bulls to come in right off the bell on that move. I was looking for a little bit more of a consolidation hold for that move to come in. But something to note as well, I think, Sean, is that over the past couple of weeks, I've noticed that most of that momentum move is happening in the first hour or two, and then we just get that consolidation for the rest of the day. So you can play those breakouts, breakdowns in that first little bit of the day, and then maybe move over to either stepping away or hitting the range trade later on that chop. But yeah, it seems like we're getting a little bit more of the same there. I was also watching Google. Google kind of had sold off multiple days over and over again, doing that same thing. This is what I mean. Take a look at this. Sells off in the first hour or so. Again here, pops in the first hour or so, sells off in the first hour or so, and then you get consolidation. Sure, you get this day where you don't really do any of that, but the day right after, doing more of the same. Strong selling right off the open, consolidates for the rest of the day. Strong selling, consolidates for the rest of the day. Today, we're getting a little bit of a different picture here as we're getting bought up quite aggressively back into the 130. Let's see if this is just strong buying and then consolidates for the rest of the day. I'll be watching this 130 and this 129.5 as a potential resistance turn support levels just from this week, right? Yesterday, Monday, kind of starting off the week a little bit red, and we're revisiting, or or going a little bit red to green here on the weekly on I guess a few of these names there, Apple as well. So yeah, a little bit of a bid kind of coming in, going red to green there on Google, and I think Apple's looking very, very similar as well. We did go a little bit red underneath that 189, 190, and then when we reclaim, look at this, the trend is just continuing onwards, and we're breaking this consolidation that we've been having over the past 3 weeks. So anything above this 193, again, the idea for the 193 short is shorting into this consolidation over the past 2-3 weeks. But if we're going to continue this overall long-term, not long-term, but like overall bigger picture trend where we've broken out of this 200 reject that we had for a couple of months there, and we've broken out. So maybe I do have to step out of the way as a bigger picture idea is going on here. And if overwhelming buyers are going to come in as a day trader, I do have to kind of either get with them or step out of the way and not get too aggressive. That 59 coming back in on GitLab as well. Like I said, that initial trade, sure, we missed that flush through that 59. I think that was great. Good job if you caught that move all the way down to 55 halves. That's pretty solid, almost a 3.5 point move. But when you come back into that 59, I'm looking for that area to kind of show us again if these sellers are really there, if we're really going to be using this area as some resistance, will we continue back to the downside? So I'll be waiting and watching for that weakness to kind of come in there. But other than that, I'm not really watching too much there, Sean. I know that we had some levels on XOM as well. Randy coming in and pointing out that XOM could be potentially at a little bit of a multi-time frame support here in and around some of these levels. That's 101, 102-ish area. So yeah, right here, this is what I'm talking about on the weekly.
Obi, we've got 15 seconds until we get the JOLTS job opening. We get ISM manufacturing now. Could jolt the market. We did just add a little bit to our Intel short, but we are getting ready to get out. Do you want to go to Adair for the number? Or? Okay, we're going to wait. Okay, you let me know when it's ready. Okay, here it comes. 10 o'clock right now, so we will get those numbers out in just a second. There goes Intel, blasted to the upside. So let's go over to Adair and get those numbers right away.
Numbers just coming in here. ISM services PMI a bit higher than the expected and the previous. We came in at 52.7. Consensus was 52. And the forecast was 51.5. We're still waiting for those JOLTS job numbers, but the previous was 9.553 million. Consensus was 9.3 million. Forecast of 9.4 million. Okay, so we just got the JOLTS a bit lower than expected here, actually coming in at 8.73 million compared to that forecast of 9.4 million, the consensus of 9.3, guys. So a bit lower than what we were expecting here. And yeah, we can see, we definitely seeing a bit of an increase in the Qs after this number. So keep an eye on that. NASDAQ seeing a bit of an uptick, after those numbers. In terms of individual stocks moving right now, NIO still really strong, up about 6.5% after strong Q3 earnings and also strong delivery numbers for the vehicles. Robinhood also still pretty strong to the upside, about 3.5% after good November trading numbers, specifically for crypto, lots of increases there. Brought to you by Search Trader, where traders can get a funded trading account up to $1 million and keep up to 90% of the profits. The program has simple rules, no time limits. Just go to searchtrader.com/TTV and use the promo code TTV for 10% off.
Oh man, I'm thinking we might have to switch over to the longs, man. The futures are too good now. They just went green. We got taken out of Intel. You saw that, it blasted to the high side, so that's going to be an L there on that last part of Intel. But okay, here's Intel. Just wanted to show you. There's the out, blasted up. I mean, it's a good thing we got out there on a break of 42.05. That last name that I was looking at was Alibaba. So again, this is a name still down, still off that level. I was thinking about a short rate now on this one, so this could be something 72.50. Again, I'm just thinking about switching to the long, but this is looking pretty good here for a short, but we're above VWAP, we're above the 200 period moving average, so I'm gonna flip this into a long if we do take out this 72. I mean, this is, I know, like Sean's gonna go long a Chinese name. This could be definitely sketchy here, as I hear the professor's wondering if I'm feeling okay. But I am feeling fine. 72, let's just try it, man. Well, you know, again, maybe a couple hundred shares, something like that, breaking this top. Let's just see if it works, man. If it goes through, it goes through. If not, then we'll get out on some of these VWAPs. So we just dipped into. This could be the wrong way. I'm just thinking here's a bunch of garbage. The news is already out. The market is blasting. Maybe Alibaba wants to go to the upside, but you know what? Why are we even worried about Alibaba when we can have like really strong names like our friend Softy coming through? I mean, we really, really like this name as well, breaking through that 370 marker and now going even more. Obi's favorite stock to short here, Apple. That also up to 2% now, breaking through 193 Obi. Now we're at 194. Jeez,
wow.
Man, this stock is, and
that
again,
is absolutely wild.
Kudos to you, honestly, because like the fact to get out of that, I mean, and some trades just go bad. Palantir right now. Let's go, man. Aunt Kathy is in the building. As you can see, she probably not. Nice move to the upside right now for Palantir. And I mean, reading this, man, we had a firm short. We already actually only in 20% left of that. We had Intel short 43 if it can get to that. And then we had Palantir long at $18. The rest, as they say, Adara, is history. Let's go make some history. What you got?
Adeco Agro, this is a South American company. AGRO is the ticker here. North American shares are trading higher after BofA Securities upgraded to a buy with the price target of $14. Really strong volume throughout the day so far, guys.
40. Okay, I'll just look at this 42.40 level for Intel. Maybe the short is not dead yet. Intel is still red. I did want to check out AMD because this was the level more that I was concerned about up here near 119. I still have an offer for AMD to get short if it does go back up there. We're waiting for that one. Possibly BABA will break soon, so we'll get ready for that. Trigger long, AMD, and the other one that I saw some people in the chat wanted to get my opinion on was going to be GameStop. So again, we wrote down, and just, I keep talking about the sticky note, and I apologize, I don't really, but a lot of you out there are probably wondering what exactly is said note, or you're not and you're tired of it. But right here, this is what we put out every single day. We sort of put ourselves out there. There's GameStop long, there's Palantir 18 long, there's a firm short. We have AMD waiting for that 119 and Intel short. So far, we've traded 3 of these names on the list. As I can see, I have many notifications and many notes on here, so thank you everybody for this. You can go out there and find it. Bears versus Bulls will also help with that if you guys need it. But for right now, yeah, I'm just going to wait for Alibaba. It looks like it wants to break it down now, break up, sorry, up to the upside. So if we can break through this 40 area, we are going to hit this long, and that is going to be Alibaba.
Yeah, so I did kind of get a little long there, but it seems like the price action is starting to slow down a little bit here. But that 15.9 just got blasted through quite aggressively. So I think and we're starting to kind of pull back a little bit as well through that level. So I do want a piece off of this this long there. So I did get long there, a bit of a chase, but again, chasing. I think if I'm chasing into it, I'm going to be very nimble and just chase out of it as well if it doesn't really go there. That 146. Again, ideally you want to get in on a consolidation, but yeah, a little bit of I think it was a higher than expected number there, right? So yeah, that strength really coming in there off of that number. That 15.9 just got blasted right through. So yeah, definitely the bull is definitely raging today to the upside as Apple, Softy, and Google and Amazon. And I haven't taken a look at Meta or some of the other ones. So let's take a quick look at those as well. If I can just find my browser here. All right, so let's take a quick look at Meta, see what Meta is up to as well. This 146.5 looking quite interesting here. I'll let that cook a little bit. I might want to throw on a moving average as well. If this is going to stay this strong and continue to hold these levels, I'm definitely interested in what we do when we kind of break that momentum going into the rest of the day there. Strong on Meta as well. Let's take a look quickly at some AVGO as well. I was watching this ticker. Another kind of not really a trade, but I guess idea that I had was Costco. Costco keeps on kind of knocking on the door of 600. Can't really get through it. Let's see what it's doing today. Oh wow, take a look at that. Finally past that 600 mark. This is what I'm talking about. Take a look at the weekly here. So for over the past 3 or 4 weeks, we were just kind of knocking into this 600 level. Couldn't really get past it. market. And today, finally, we do kind of make a move for those highs, all-time highs being right there at that 612. So Costco kind of going on a run there off of that kind of a technical break. And yeah, definitely some tailwind from the market happening as well. I did get out of that long, but it seems like that was a little bit of a bad idea as we are slowly kind of grinding or continuing to grind back up to the upside. 147, I even wrote down, is could be a potential area to kind of work with there. Let me just pull up my notes so I kind of keep myself a little level-headed here. And yeah, so I think I wrote down right here. Okay, 145, interesting. Look to short pops if we stay heavy underneath 145. Let the price action build first. 147 is the real resistance. Wait and see if sellers have stepped down. So that's kind of what I wrote down for Amazon, and that 147 is here now. So I'm going to be patiently observing this 147 to see if there's kind of some resistance. Short Apple, you said?
Yeah, we are now 50 cents in the money off the short Apple right now, off 194, but we're really at 193.75, sorry. It's 50 cents in the money on Affirm, 25 cents on the money on Apple, and 35 cents on Affirm. Here goes Apple. So again, we just waited for that upsize move, and we're going to use 194 there. It's a good trade, but hoping for a little bit more as we go short on Apple into, hopefully, like I keep saying, hopefully, into a little bit of a low spot right now. We're just getting some out now. I mean, I have another bid here no, I do not have another bid on Apple, but there's the short. We waited for it. We were really, really patient, so it's Apple. I was thinking about, I thought, okay, that's 193. Let's get something, and that's pretty low. Like this again, like I was just talking about this with Obi, obviously you guys all heard that. I'm gonna okay, we'll take a 43 out. I'm gonna cancel that. The thing is, when you're trading counter trend like this, wow, okay, nice move down for Apple. I mean, I was not expecting that, but here we go. Nice. There we go again, man. Nice collapse on Apple. Now 50 cents in the money, wow. Good trade there, was not expecting that aggressive. This is not a full position, but whoops, we did it again, says Britney Spears, who's lost her mind on Instagram and everything like that. I don't know if you guys have been watching. Thank you, wow. Live in the meow right now. What a reload from Rob. This is, thank you, Rob, wow. Nice. Man, this tastes almost as good as some of the positions that we have on right now. Okay, so that's good. Sean Katina is like a carnival today. That is correct, man. All aboard. The best part about this carnival is it is 100% free, so make sure.
Like and subscribe today.
I do this literally every day. You know, we put on these winners. We have a great time. Today we get to have it with Obi. Tomorrow we'll have it with Neil. But regardless of who's beside me, this is going to be a great show. It continues to be a great show. We're blessed to have such great hosts as Obi, Sharif, Adara, Brendan's okay, myself. And it's just been such a great run for Trader TV Live. I just want to say thank you to everybody for continuously to support us there. And of course, I throw shade at Brendan because he's the best. I mean, that's just honestly what it comes down to. So, all right, 38. People want to know about a reload on a firm short. I'm in my eye here. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know yet, to be honest with you. We're out of 80% of this. We talked about that near that bottom. It's going to be net my number one stock today. Palantir has been pretty darn good, as now is Apple. As Apple's now 40 cents in the money. But for a firm, I'd rather wait till we shorted it, you know, in and around 38. I mean, that was going to be our out anyways. So let's just wait to see. I could see a little bit of a reload right now for a firm. Let's try it. We don't have too many shares right now on it. We just talked about sort of what we were looking at here for this. So let's try to get a little bit more here. So there it is. We got a little bit. Let's see if we can get something out here on a firm if it does go back down. We actually took two fills there, but they're both pretty small. That level here to break, I'm guessing 38. I'd like to get more short up there near 38, but if it comes through, it comes through, and we will ring the register lower. First take right now, 37 and change. I mean, thanks for bringing that to our attention. I mean, I talk about all the great hosts that we have here, but realistically, it's all the great people that we have watching us as well, because some of you were like, are you short reloading a firm? Well, guess what? Okay. And that's it right there. Wow, Obi.
What's going on?
It is Apple right now,
Nice
and it
short.
is the face slapper to 70 cents now in the money on that short as we flip up the game there on Apple and take the short. And now we will sip on some nice Java. I hope you guys are all enjoying the entertainment here, as I know, 16 bucks for GameStop, as I know Obi and I are having a great time doing this for you. $2 short on Meta. Congratulations to Daryl in the chat. You're a real one. Daryl was one of the ones that was one of the first traders on our show when we used to do.
Yeah, I think I remember.
You remember him? Oh wow. Okay,
Yeah,
good.
like when I used to watch the show from home.
Yeah,
a long time
you
ago.
and Sharif and now unfortunately you get to sit here with me. So sorry about that, Obi. But let's go over to the desk with Adara.
Ericsson over here. ERIC is the ticker, making new highs on the day after the news yesterday that it's won its largest financial deal in the company's history with AT&T, $14 billion contract, over 5 years for a new telecom location. So keep an eye on Eric, guys.
Yeah, Ericsson. Okay. You know what?
Some good. Those are the guys that they make those phones, right? So is it Sony Ericsson?
No, is it Sony Ericsson or Nokia? The deal was with something with Nokia here today. I'm going to pass over to you in a second. I just want to, because this firm, I might just get out and then regroup on this, right? Because again, remember we talked about it. You get that little bit of a feeling like, okay, it's not working. It never went against us earlier. I've already canceled my offer to get more short in and around this level. So I'm having a little bit of nervous moments here with the firm. So I am going to put the stop at 37.60. So that was that wick higher, and I've just convinced myself of that right now. So we can all watch this. And I've had traders tell me I shouldn't be exposing my outs or I don't care. There it is, 37.60. You want to run a firm up there to get me stopped out, that is fine by me. The money's already been made on this name. So, all right, if I'm getting a little bit more nervous on a firm, let's take something out in the 30s if we can get it. But right now, all is well here as we continue to trade, guys. So far, so good here. AFRM is just another one of those. We're pretty happy with it. Let's see where we can go now. Hopefully, we get that bid back in the 30s. And I'm going to pass it over to the man, the myth, the legend, my Padawan. What's up, Obi?
No, nothing real legendary here going on, Sean. As Amazon kind of continues to show strength through this, or in and around this 147, but I think that the softies pulling back quite significantly as well. I think you're short on Apple still there a little bit. Yeah, so a little bit of a wick top happening on Apple as well. So yeah, let's see if that weakness is kind of reflected here on the Amazon, but absolutely strong through the highs happening right now on this Amazon. That's 147.5 coming in. And Softy kind of consolidating, going a little bit sideways there underneath that 372. That 372 was a little bit of an interesting area as well to interact with. GitLab back at that 60. I was looking for that fade back down through that 59. Doesn't really give it to you, and kind of comes right back up into that 60. So I'll be patiently waiting for that to kind of happen if that's the case. But pre-market highs, I think 61 was that next level we're waiting for, kind of for that push back up. But I guess the long off that 58, 59 when we reclaim is not a bad idea either. Missed out on that as well as a short through that 59. But that 59, 58 area seems like it stayed a decent place to interact with. A bit of a struggle with this 59 here on the NQs. So let's see where we go from there. Some solid strength off the open, right? Strong jobs number as well. Very, very strong sentiment happening across the board on a lot of these Mag 7 tickers there, but that 15.9 maybe poised for a little bit of a pullback here. Let's see if this strength can get a little bit of a 50% pullback down and around into these 15.850s. We know that this area was kind of significant yesterday in yesterday's price action. That 15.860, 15.870-ish area coming into that end of day consolidation highs there happening on the NQs.
Yeah, we just we had a little bit of a nervous moment there. We talked about that for a firm, so we got out of it. We'll take that. I mean, where was that? That's about 20 cents on the reload there hit. Sucks, but still my number one name is a firm. And then on that move up there for Apple, I took some out on the way back in, man. We just got filled at 50 there. We'll take 25 cents. We'll hold it. We have that very bottom tick at 193.15. So Apple's actually going to be my third stock today because numbers, and that's a good one there. So we can't complain about anything that we've done there for Apple today. Again, that would be very, very silly. All right, that's what we're doing. So Apple, we'll wait for it. Palantir, we're still in it. Affirm. Okay, so I'm going to reload this pretty decently up here near a 38. And then if we take out, I mean, that pre-market high, that C38 is where the 200 period is. So any kind of a retracement back up for names like this, that's kind of where I want to get out. So anything like that for Affirm, definitely worth getting out for me at that level. So we will have another look there. And then if we have to get out, we'll get out. But that's Affirm, shorting near 38 if we can get that right now. ARM, that's an interesting name that we haven't seen here in a minute. Wow, $62. Shout out to Christopher there. No, not Christopher. Juan De La Cruz. What's up, De La Cruz? In the chat right there, 64.50. Yeah, I like ARM. I like what ARM's doing right now on the daily chart. Kind of just like, you know, making these levels. This is perfect, actually, if you like the long. You're at a great level if you can get back in a little lower. I mean, you're in the middle of this range now, 65, so it's not going to be a day trade for me, but let's keep this on our radar, because if we get an upgrade tomorrow or something like that, and we take this 65 on, or even now today, you take that 65 on ARM, that is great. That's smooth sailing. I like that. Take out the past highs. I don't know about that very high of 75, but definitely up here to 68. I like that break of 65. Good look there on ARM for you, De La Cruz. So good look on that one coming through for ARM. Move up. Affirm is still there. What else is on our radar right now? AMD up to 119 if that can cook a little bit. I like that one as well, but that's not quite there. Maybe we play the short now 18s, but I don't know, bullish or bearish on the market, Obi, because right now you're at 15.9. We've already made that move up. It's got to have a decision point coming soon here for this market.
Yeah, I think that 15.9 kind of hold is very interesting to say. A little bit of a struggle, kind of slowing down that momentum of the morning. We kind of talked about how a lot of the price action as of late has been just kind of a strong move in the open for the first hour or so. It's about 10 minutes to the hour off the open, and we get that sideways kind of consolidation happening going forward for the rest of the day there. And that consolidation and that slowdown on that 15.9 kind of we attempt to kind of push towards that 16 thou as well, and that doesn't really come in right away, but yeah, that strength kind of coming right in. But that strong wick on the 15-minute, these are 15-minute candles here, but the strong wick on the 15-minute there kind of suggesting that this 15.9 was an interesting little bit of action there. 60 breaking through GitLab on GitLab as well. Kind of some showing some strength here. We kind of let me pull this up right here to kind of show you guys again. We kind of defined some of these levels here on GitLab in the pre-market right here. So yeah, where did my 61 go? I swear I had oh no, there was a 64. Okay, right. Okay, so yeah, so that 58 kind of came in and went, and we're holding above that. So we'll let it consolidate. We'll let it kind of do its thing right now. If this is going to continue with the market here, as the market kind of continues to go to the upside there, we still haven't necessarily broken out of this kind of initial reaction high there on GitLab off of their earnings. We're still holding underneath this consolidation low. So I think that I'm going to be a little bit more patient. I think we talked about that 6160 area being a decent place to interact with, and it seems like we have started to kind of we rebid back into that area, but we're struggling a little bit here. So whether we continue or we don't, I think if and when price comes back into this area, we might have a better perspective of what it can do. But that long through that 60 or through that 59 is definitely working out really, really well here. People talking about Tesla. Tesla had the same, Bloody Masters saying Tesla has had the same process for like 3 weeks. This thing is a compressed spring. Okay, let's take a quick look at Tesla.
Let's go, let's do sector recap, and then we'll do Tesla, because we're a little bit past that time. So let's go over to Adara right now, and then we'll talk more about that, and we'll throw it right back to Obi. We are short Apple right now at 194.
Quite a few small caps moving around right now, including Adecoagro, AGRO is the ticker on this one. BofA Securities upgrading to a buy and raising the price target to $14. We also have Clearmind, CMND. This one has ran before. Right now, it's running on news that it achieved results in its cocaine addiction treatment, up about 46% right now. Last but not least, Root, ROOT. This is a tech company, up about 16%, at near high of days right now. No news on this one right now, guys.
All right. So the market's really starting to blast up right now. Nvidia's starting to go. Some of these chip names are starting to go. So we're going to give something back, it looks like, on a firm, but maybe not. We're short now at 90. It's at O's. This is fine for us. Because it's so strong, I'm only going to give this to like 38.20, something like that. Okay. All right. Okay. Something just flushed there for some reason, so we'll see if we can get something out at 80 right now on a firm. I did that. That was a weird flush. I just thought we were in trouble there, which we were, and then a little bit of a pullback here on AFRM, but then it just blasted itself back up again. So it seems like, so to me now I'm even more nervous because that was coming down and then someone came in and bought it up, not expecting anybody to be buying that thing up. Just when we went for, and I'm going to pass it back to you, Obi, but remember the last thing I said that we were short? Apple. So there it is right now. We'll take out some 25 cents or so on this Apple short and we'll try to ring that register back in for Apple. A couple shorts out there, a couple covers, and now we'll cover more as it's making that move back down, and we'll spin Apple for another red name here today. But I'm giving too much back here on a firm. We're not really. I mean, we're short at 88. It's at 94. Cry me a river, says Justin Timberlake. But as this move comes back in a little bit, I tried to bid 80s. I might have stopped the move. I don't know, but we're still sitting there at 80 trying to get something out if that does come through. But there goes NVIDIA, guys. It just took out huge level. Like, it just ripped up to 66. NVIDIA, like, we talked about that being down there at 450. It is nowhere near 450 now. And that might spark us into some AMD shorts. Nope. It's just AMD specific today as the monster has awakened over there, man, with NVIDIA and those H chips. We're going to wait to see here on a move down for a firm. That's really the only thing that I have on right now because Apple is keeping the doctor away today, now 30 cents in the money.
Yeah, so kind of covering Tesla once again. Strong, very, very strong indeed. I forget who pointed it out in the chat there, but yeah, super, super strong out the open there. 130s, 135s kind of coming in, negating all of yesterday's price action as well, going green on the week after printing a little bit of a red coming into the day there on Tesla. So yeah, this thing is absolutely raging to the upside there. It's already done about 10 points to the upside, and again, very similar kind of action there across the board there. Apple, very similar, raging, does like 4 points off the open. Similar thing with Softy here, does about 4 points off the open, 365s all the way into 370s right there. 370, kind of an interesting level from before. Yeah, right there, a resistance from last week. Last week's low, I think, was in and around this level here. If I just want to make sure, is this last week's low? That's Monday, that's Tuesday, Monday. Yeah, exactly. So Softy rages right up into last week's low, and then we're getting a little bit of a pullback as that top. Take a look at the NQ there, Sean. We basically grabbed the wick of that initial thing. So I did stay a little bit short here. Let's see how well this kind of works out as we are starting to slow down off of that morning momentum. So all I'm looking for is a little bit of a pullback back into some of these ranges here. If we're going to continue kind of blasting on the day, I'm looking for healthy price action, and healthy price action normally means you have some nice, calm waves. Not necessarily calm, but like you have waves of price action that are kind of picking up liquidity on the way, making the bigger picture move. What's up with the dance?
Bro, we've got Apple, you've got Amazon. The dance is the dance today.
That is a coincidence.
That was a coincidence. Told you. Padawan. Okay, man. Nice move coming back in. And guess what? Uh-oh. Uh-oh, it's a firm, baby. We in the building with a firm, man. Nice move back down. We short that 38. Uh-oh, that's it, man. We still here, baby. Nice move to the downside. And, you know, you're not going to wipe this smile off this kid's face. But anyways, as you come back down into the downside, this is a good trade. Look at this one for Apple. Yes, sir. Come again, please and thank you. But I will take some of that 30, so we'll take some of that out right now for 60 cents. But we have way more shares on a firm, guys. That's why we're dancing it off right now, man. It is a beautiful trade for me there, as look what happened. We got lined up. This is what we wanted to do, man. All the stars align for this Affirm trade. We hammer it short the first time. Play the momentum, right? Play the sticky note. Play the momentum on Affirm. Comes back up. Stops at the 200 period MA. Boom to the downside. And we are now at our highest spot we've been at all day. Palantir, meh. We only have 10% left on this one. Let's see if Aunt Kathy does come in to save the day. But please, Aunt, do not buy any Affirm as this is making the move back down. We're bidding 55s. Can we get lucky enough to get this, man? Wow, what a day this has been. It's the hot dog cannon time again, man. Wow, this is going to be a good day trading here for us. And it's only 10:30, Obi. But that doesn't mean we can't do everyone's favorite segment. Yo, what's up, Randy? I see you in the back there looking as handsome as ever. I like that move. Hey, what's up, Randy, my guy? Kat's not here today. You could take her spot if you want. No, right there, okay. But there's Randy in the background. Always, you know, he's like that guy. Like you turn around, sometimes he's right here, sometimes he's in the back. He's always cruising around. He's a lurker. That's a good one in my ear right now, but we're just playing around as we have lots of fun on the show. But I did want to talk about this quickly. Before we go, we do have a crypto moment coming up with Adara, but we did get an early lunch look. And I think it was Hamster or Comp SRX1. They're like, yo, what's for lunch? And that was like at 9:45. Like, how hungry are you guys around here? But the thing is, yesterday was chicken, the day before was chicken, and guess what today is? So sometimes that's like a little bit of a tease because, you know, everyone's like all excited for chicken and then I drop salmon on them, or sometimes it's a AAA Angus burger. But today, if you're like, you know what, you get a feeling that it's going to be chicken again. You are right. It is another chicken dinner winner as we barbecue up today. I don't know about this one. Broccoli and cheddar stuffed chicken breast with herb roasted new potatoes. And I'm down with this, man. Good. A little bit of steamed bok choy. Oh. I like. Yesterday we had the spinach salad. We showed that on the show. We like that as well. Yeah, I'm just always hoping for the protein on top of the salad to always be tuna. I like tuna, and I like solid. Crypto moment. Go ahead. Sorry, Obi, what do you like?
No, I was going to say protein from chicken I find a little bit better.
Okay, yeah. I can get down with the chicken flow as well. But the one thing we are down with is crypto, something that we really haven't looked at today. So let's get an update with Adara.
Yeah, the main update is basically Bitcoin and crypto are still pretty strong, and these miners are still strong as well, these crypto-associated names, including HUT8. HUT is the ticker here, up above 7% right now, still really strong volume. Keep an eye on all those crypto-related stocks still. Bitcoin itself, here's the 5-minute chart, still really strong. We're actually trading above that 42,000 area now consistently for the last little bit, so that is definitely of note. So here are all the currencies here. Yeah, Bitcoin well above that 42,000 area right now, up almost 2% on the day. Ethereum pretty flat, but still above that 2,200 area for itself. Everything else pretty mixed. We do have some strength in AVAX, Avalanche over here, up almost 3%. Everything else pretty muted though right now, guys.
Thank you. Yeah, let's take a quick look at what some of these names are doing here, like Mara and Riot GBTC as well. We were talking about them in the pre-market, and yeah, just continuing to rage to the upside here. Just a kind of strong action right off the open. We talked about that 15 kind of being a little interesting as well, right? So when that 15 kind of holds that level, take a look at the price action that kind of accelerates off that 15 level there on Mara. Let's see if Riot is looking anywhere similar to that. Yeah, very, very similar there. Again, 15 once again. Hello, that 15 hold on Riot, kind of breaking moving back above week highs, but that pre-market high off of Monday kind of coming in off the weekend where Bitcoin had done the craziness there on in the crypto world. So yeah, we're kind of testing kind of that key area from before, and a bit of a slowdown. Well, I wouldn't really call it a bit of a slowdown there. If you throw up a moving average here, I'm sure it hasn't been broken just as of yet. Again, you don't necessarily have to be using a moving average to define the trend. You can just throw in the line and kind of get a general direction there of the trend there, kind of like that. But yeah, moving averages work well as well to define the trend, and it is holding well within this uptrend here as of right now, especially Riot. I think I was talking to Neil about this a few months ago there, Sean. Take a look at this. Do you find this interesting? Look at this, I wouldn't call it accumulation. I wouldn't make that assumption right away that it's accumulation, but look at this volume that's been pushing into Riot even after it's come all the way down. It's almost as if it's gotten even bigger. They're kind of accumulating this sub $10 level and then looking for that potential pop for the next Bitcoin cycle. You can see that 2018 was here. You can see that 2021 was here. And I think where's 08? Excuse me, yeah, so right there. So the pop in going into 08 as well. So getting a little bit ready for that crypto cycle maybe is this interesting volume. What are your thoughts on that kind of move there?
I mean, I was thinking, whenever I hear stuff about Mara and Riot and some of those, blockchain, sort of the miners and all that, I feel like it's just plays, it's other ways to play off. Oh, by the way, I will talk about that in a minute, but I see we have a special guest here. Tesla is, I mean, the market is flat right now, and Tesla's up pretty nicely there. I recently bought Tesla down here. I still think, honestly, Randy, I don't know if I'm crazy, but I think we can get Tesla, near some of these highs by the end of the year. I'm not hearing too many negative notes about this name anymore, as Elon hopefully can stay out of some of the space and not worry too much about making comments about Twitter and things like that, back up to the upside. But you like Tesla into year end? I think you do. Okay. Shanghai sales volume down. We saw that yesterday on Tesla. Yep, I love the Cybertruck. I mean, look at all that talk. Sharif over here wants to buy a Cybertruck.
Yeah, he was talking about that this morning.
So I mean, I think that the more we see them out, the better it is for that. Anything else before you go quickly? I gotta talk. Okay, yeah, it's not Twitter, it's X. You guys are right. But right now, let's spin the money. Thanks, Randy, for that. And I agree. I think Tesla's just getting going. And the thing is that when you buy, if you want to buy an EV, although they're getting more accessible, it's just a matter of you want to have inventory, and they're actually producing enough cars to sell. Yeah. So I like the Tesla story moving forward. I really hate the Affirm story, which is why we short it and why it's going to be the #1 name here, because look at this, continuing move down. Now, I only have a third left. Why, you might say? Good question. It's because we keep holding 50s. So I want to hold. I don't have another bid till 30, and then I have a bid at O's. So we still are bidding down here, thinking that we can retrace back into VWAP, but hey, man, not for long. I don't need to be in this name if we're going to bounce around. So our target out, still this top wick right there, 38.10. So we're short now at 37.94. We're 30 cents in the money. This is a risk to reward. I often get questions about this. This is 3 to 4 to 1 right now as it sits. When we were taking profit down here, we were 5 to 1. So good trade. We're only in a third. That's why we're in a third. In case weakness continues in the name, but look at the market as we blast back up to the upside. So I will short more in and around this 37.90 area, but our out is 38.10 as a marker out for a firm 38.10, guys.
Yeah, so this market kind of bidding right back above that 15.9 there. on the NQs, but still a little wicky there. We've seen kind of selling kind of come in off of this 15.9 for the past couple of 15-minute candles here.
What's going on?
And I'm asking myself how much time is left on this 15-minute candle to print. About 8 minutes left for this 15-minute candle to print, and we are kind of still holding in and around this 15.9, right? We were bidding below it for a little bit. We got above it. Now we're kind of trying to push, but clearly these 15-minute wicks are showing us that there is there is a little bit of pressure in and around some of these areas as well. Similar with the ES, kind of strong wicks on the 15 as we now continue to consolidate. So like I said before, it seems like maybe it's going to be more of the same there. You get that strength in the morning and a little bit of consolidation sideways for the rest of the day there. Let's take a quick look at some of these larger caps there. Softy pulling back onto VWAP, Apple pulling back as well. A little bit of...
We have a quick story, so let's go quickly do Adair, and then we'll come back. What's up, Adair? We'll fix the mic issues right there. Nice one, Fabian. All right. So I have to, because Neil's not here, I have to throw shade. Like, no one throws more shade than Neil, so I got to do some respect on his name. But it looks like Fabian's got it fixed out right now. What's up, Adara?
Yeah, sorry for the mic issues there. My bad. LIFW, this one's an occasional runner running again right now. MSP recovery. No news on this one right now. Up about 22% right now, guys.
I knew Adara had herself on mute there, but I was trying to, deflect the attention over to Fabian. But she just took responsibility for it, so I like that. I don't want to make her nervous. This is kind of a new role for Adara. She's giving us the news as she sees the headlines come out, and she may be possibly doing a better job than Brendan. So I'm really happy with that as we look forward to that. Remember, I said without Neil here, I have to throw shade. It's part of the show. It's like part of the contract. You haven't even hit it yet. Find the thing that says Sharif likes, because if we don't do that one, then we get in trouble right now. Okay.
Yeah, I heard Neil was saying that. I guess. Oh, sorry. Sorry about that. I heard Neil was saying that Sharif has like a quota. A daily quota
that's
in his contract of how many, or was it you? I think it might have been you. So he has
most things Neil talks about is a derivative of somebody else. Like, he has a lot of things himself. The talking horse in the mouth, whatever that is. It's a trap is a good one.
Yeah, I like that one.
Gift horse in the mouth.
Gift horse in the mouth.
But the flat bottom break. I don't know if Sharif stole that from Neil. I'm not sure. Uh-oh, there it is.
Oh, nice. We do have a graphic for that.
I'm excited. We do have Neil back. He was shoveling. Yes. Actually, he sent a note. He says, "No way in hell I'm shoveling." Actually, was the note that he said there. But we did. He's spending well-deserved family time, man. His brother lives out east, so he's visiting his brother and his nephew out east. I don't know if it's a nephew and a niece, but there's two of them out east. So shout out to Neil, who's coming back tomorrow, pending travel. I mean, his flight, he may already be back, but his flight, I think, was either last night or it got pushed to today because of bad weather. But I do want to thank Obi for coming out. And everybody says, "Where's Brendan?" He's still here, man. We're just playing around. Brendan's on the desk and doing work behind the scenes. So Adara taking over that role for now or maybe forever, as things are always changing around here. And I just want to thank everybody for the continued support. And again, Obi, man, I know we only have 20 minutes till we're done, but I know you're covering a lot in the month of December, as we have a lot of different days off coming in, and we're trying to bookend them here at the end of the year. So thank you for that as well. As Palantir back up near days high, 1850.
Yeah, so we basically stopped out of our trade here. The idea was getting short. Excuse me, 1 second.
That's okay. Let's go to Sector Watch with Adara, because I just talked way too much. And then we'll come back and we'll let you clear your throat.
Lots of weakness in pretty much every sector, but it's really worth noting that all of the mega caps here, for the most part, really outstandingly strong. Nvidia and Apple really strong in this electronic technology sector. Tesla standing out for consumer durables. Amazon notably strong in retail trade. Google strong as well in tech services. So those are definitely of note right now. In terms of weakness, I mean, finance, very weak right now. Pretty mixed week in health technology as well. Lots of weakness in producer manufacturing and consumer services. It is worth noting some standouts in retail trade. We do have Costco up right now, as well as CVS. CVS just had earnings, so that's one to watch right now, up quite a bit right now. We also have communications, fairly strong, led by AT&T, with news of a deal with Ericsson going on right now, where they are having a contract with Ericsson, said no to Nokia on that. So keep an eye on those sectors, but generally lots of weakness across the board, guys.
Shout out, before you speak, I must shout out the most lovely woman in my life. Shout out to my lovely wife, Marissa, for watching. I love you so much, and thank you for everything that you do for me, my family, and all of that. So, all right, Obi, the floor is yours.
I forgot what I was going to be talking about there.
Perfect.
But,
Back to me.
But no, we can talk about this kind of strength that's happening. A little bit of continuation. So I did stop out of right. That's what I was going to talk about. The trade that I stopped out of. So the idea was to get short in and around this 147 halves and give it to that 148. So I did get a little aggressive there, but that strength, Sean, is continuing to the upside, and I just get blown out on that unusual. I wouldn't call it unusual. It's probably unusual because I'm not really respecting it, not really waiting for price action to really tell me. I even talked about listening to the chart this morning, and clearly I'm not listening to this chart here. As let me pull it up here. So if you look at this trend is super strong there. We broke through that 145, 146, 147 hold, and I think if you throw up like I think a moving average on this price action, we've held nothing but above all of this price action, continuing. No real sign of relief here as the market retests some of these wick highs there. As you can see on the NQ and the ES, we are just raging back up. So those sellers, yeah, they were there for a little bit, pushing it back into that 15.9, but we reclaim and push right back up towards high of day there. Amazon making brand new highs, 149, 147. I was like, okay, maybe 147. You want to interact with this 147 area, 147 halves. A little bit of a step down resistance from last week, but we are kind of negating all of those levels and raging right back up towards last week's highs in one day. We basically covered below, we were basically engulfing last week's week candle right now on Amazon. Let's take a quick look at that. And we're about to push through that previous week high there. So very strong move happening today there. So yeah, we kind of, where did we start off here? Amazon opened at 143 halves. So Amazon opens down here at 143 halves, below last week's weekly candle, and then all in one move kind of grinds all the way back up, pretty much testing this 149, which happens to be last week's high. So maybe, like I said before, maybe this is a little bit of a continuation back to the upside. We had a little bit of a doji. We got a little too excited thinking, oh, it's over. We're going to come back to the downside, getting a little too bearish with our biases. And then when you kind of push right back through previous week's low, previous week's open and close, and now knocking on the door of the high, you definitely want to step out of the way and kind of reassess. And yeah, pretty much shooting myself in the foot there, getting too aggressive on this strength there, not really covering when that 147 holds. I was like, okay, well, we broke back below. I added onto the position there, and that when that 147 kind of holds that moving average, I don't really get out, kind of signifying the continuation of that strength even up here. And yeah, I give it to the stop that I have up here at that 148, but that is way too wide to kind of give that with the risk I'm using right now. So a little bit of some hard to swallow thing there, right? We kind of talked about that not getting too strongly biased one way or flipping the bias. But staying strong with the bias there. So I did try the long once and pieced off of it for about 10 pennies and then take the hit for about 60 to 70 pennies on the short. That's absolutely unacceptable there on the day. But you know what? We learn, we move forward. I thought we would be trying to fix this mistake from yesterday, but we've pretty much done more of the same in a different kind of way. So it's something I am kind of struggling with there. So I think I guess we're doing that psych segment this week. I might be getting some value from that as well. But I think I was talking to Brankles earlier on last week about reading some stuff up on discipline and maybe some preserving some psychology as well to kind of put that into the system, kind of injecting logic into the trading system there, and the NQs and the ES raging back towards those highs. So yeah, definitely do not want to get it in the way of this buying pressure on the day today.
We are going to leave everybody hopefully at our highest damn spot that we've been at all damn day. Alibaba takes out 72.40. That was that high, and you might have heard me under my breath there. I was like, uh-oh. I did not realize that. I realized that we do like this trade, but I didn't realize how close we were into it. So I'm out at 30% already, which really is not good. I mean, I'm not in love. Like by the way, like we reloaded this Affirm short. Okay, Sharif knows what's coming next. We're reloaded. Look at this Affirm, man, $38. I mean, it's right there, and we took it, and it's another banger. Affirm is by far, and Apple by far, Affirm, then Apple, then Palantir. Top stocks for me today, as Palantir has been a nice one. We can look at that. 18 long. You see, we have it on board, and it is the long off the sticky note nation. So shout out to everybody that is a part of that nation, of course. Alibaba, I'm going to get some more out here at 40 just because. I'm going to give this name back down here to VWAP now because I only have half of the position left. It will be an L if we get down there. My best outs were 49s there. We took some 40s, so it's kind of like a flat trade. We're up on it now, but that's just basically a cup of coffee. So that's nothing. If it will go back up, then that's going to be a good trade, and we're going to hold on to it. So again, right now I'm pretty comfortable with it as the market's up 0.46. Obi, you nailed the market today. There's no doubt about that. You turned that
I nailed myself as well.
Yep, yeah, we'll work on that. Don't worry, Obi. But the long is there. Remember last week you and I talked about it, and maybe looking at the futures. Yeah, like in the SQs or the TQs for a little bit lower exposure there for price value, because I know that you're working with a shutdown and things like that. So that could be something. What? Oh. I heard it. I did hear it before. There was a little rattling noise that was bugging the professor over there. And then he just climbed up the rafters there and fixed it. He ripped his shirt off and then he climbed over the rafters there. But no, did we get it on? No, he didn't do that. I think it might have been a light, but who knows as we go there. But okay, new position alert. Right now it's going to be GME. And again, we got in on that trade, and I immediately said I want to get out of a third of this because when things fall into your lap, I feel like I want to look at it again, especially because the firm was crashing back in when this trade came. But this is what we want. We wrote down 1550 on here. So I'm going to sit there and support this long. It just came in. We're long here at 60. We got immediately a piece out at 60 immediately. And now my stop is down here breaking 40s. I like the trade from yesterday. There's the bottoms. So that's 16, sorry. It's right here. Here's 1580, 1590. And then we did wick the bottom of 15. So if this does come out, it's just, again, part of the trading, like when a level comes into play like this, it's a little different than it hitting first thing in the morning. So that's something that I'm always being very, very cautious of. As guys, like Affirm just keeps on. Apple's getting away from me, and I have such a small piece that it's not even affecting the net. Like, I'm only really worrying about Affirm right now as that's come back in. Give me those 60s. There we go. We get multiple back-to-back 66s right there as Affirm's really working out. Apple should have came out on a break above that 20 level. So right now, Apple's right back up to day's high. Oh, it's 30. The day's high is 30. So that's the level out here for Apple. So let's pay attention to that one in case that does come out. But so far, so good here on that Affirm take, which is now in the 50s for that short. So good level there for AFRM.
Yeah, I'm just gonna throw on some moving averages here on the Apple, just to kind of define for you guys the strength that we're really having here. This is just a 9 EMA here, nothing too crazy, but as you can see on the 3-minute chart. Maybe not so much on a 1 minute. Yeah, the 1 minute's a little too choppy there, but anything at 3 minute, 5 minute as well. Look at that strong hold kind of happening there on Apple. Same thing with Amazon here. Very, very clean hold above the moving average. So still very much in an uptrend unless and until we kind of break down below some of these levels here on the trends there. But yeah, you can throw the NQ as well, kind of using that similar kind of idea there.
Oh, yeah.
Look at that perfect kind of hold there on the 5 minute there. Yeah, you do wick down, but you get the candle close right above and you hold nothing but above the moving average there. As you hold above that 15.9, yeah, Apple continuing to kind of push to the upside there. I'm also looking at Google. Again, I did have a little bit of a bias coming in the morning, and yeah, switched it up a little bit when I was like, okay, well, we are holding, or Apple's holding some nice levels there, so we might be poised for the long. And yeah, look at this, where the Google is looking super strong there, kind of pushing past yesterday's prices as well. Starting off the week quite red, and then ripping right back up through those highs. So maybe a little bit of a wick bottom printing on the week here as we push past some of these levels and maybe start to catch a little bit of a bid. We talked about how heavy Google was over the past couple of days there, but 3-4 days in a row we've been having strong selling and consolidations off the open back to back there. This day not as much on Friday, but the rest of the days, Monday, Thursday, and last Wednesday as well, very strong selling, and we're getting a little bit of relief off of that pressure there, and kind of it's almost as if the strong sellers have just stepped off the book there, maybe for getting better prices, but whatever it is, we are getting some strong strength off the open there, negating a lot of previous week prices. Some tickers even pushing past previous week highs as well. So yeah, definitely got to respect that kind of strength there. As Sean pointed out, that 15.7, oh boy, that seems like that's a decent area to kind of. It was an area yesterday. We came all the way down here, right into those levels. Yesterday we came there the day before as well. 15.8s, 15.9s kind of happening on Friday as well, and then all of that coming in today. We reclaim all of those prices and rage back to the upside. 16 thou, pretty much knocking on the door, only about 40 points away from that on the NQ. So yeah, definitely some strong action today.
Yeah, we just reshorted Apple, and we were able to get some out in the teens and even the O's on a huge move down there. Look at that. We just got those fills right there, and here comes Apple right back in again. Let's just keep on ringing the register, man. This has been look at Apple. This has been an absolutely fantastic day. Give us more fills lower, guys. We're short here at 194.20 as we don't have, well, we'll be slightly red on Intel, man, but we're going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 for 7 today, including Alibaba, which isn't really moving. It's back up to 50s, but it's a Dara and it's Money Talks.
USD pretty much where we were yesterday in the DXY, just slightly below that 104 area, at about 103.90 right now, just kind of hovering around that area. In terms of big economic news, if you missed this, we did have the JOLTS, the job openings. So this we were at 8.7 million for October. So this was below the estimate, and also the lowest level we've seen since March 2021. So dollar not super reacting to that. We do have lots of economic data coming up throughout the rest of the week, though, including NFP, non-farm payrolls on Friday. Keep an eye on all this economic data as it will relate to the dollar in the coming days, guys.
Yeah, I mean, watching the U.S. dollar here, I mean, I don't know. We're kind of both long and short right now. Apple short, Affirm short, GameStop long right now, which really isn't moving. I just noticed it just stopped at 70 there. Of course, we're only long at 60s, but maybe we'll take it. I'm now offering 75 because I saw that. Again, don't know if that is going to be a play or not for us, but we're offering it. So if it goes up, we'll take a piece out, and then we're in the 80s, and then we wait when moon. We always ask when that's going to go. So we'll be here if and when it does moon. But that's that name, Alibaba. We just talked about it. That's going to be hopefully a good one as we bounce around 50s right now. Let's take that out and go a little bit higher. And then I asked Adara sort of in the chat there, what was up with Tesla? Like, did I miss a story or something earlier on Tesla? Because, like, let's just go congratulations to everybody today, because this has been an absolutely monster move up right now. Like, Tesla and the market continue to go. 4.5% upside. Like I said, I don't know, wasn't even, I don't think it was on our watch list, Tesla, was it? There was news, or no, that was Apple with India, right? Yeah, so anyways, yeah, okay. So shout out to Saskatchewan there in the chat. He's just saying that the reviews are coming in and they're hot fire for the Cybertruck. We knew that was gonna be the case. I mean, that's part of the reason. That's okay. Sharif is loving the Cybertruck. Sharif, you're on in 3 minutes, but no, all good. GameStop now trying to go 10 cents in the money. Amazing. No, I feel like that's why we initially bought Tesla anyways. When it was dipping down, we knew the Cybertruck event was happening here end of November, came through, and now we'll wait to see. If that is the case, it's going to fall down. There's going to be a lot of hype around this name. I still like it. Obviously, we could ring some registers in our own accounts, get some early Christmas money going, but honestly, there it goes. Every time I talk about Tesla, I feel like I'm going to get something from the professor over here. But anyways, nice move up. I'm not selling any of the longs, so let's see where it goes. GameStop, Alibaba not doing anything. And then Palantir, man, at the high of the day, off the low of the day. We have the low, and you know, we could get out now and pretty much have the high. But let's sit in this in case we see something happening that the market continues its strength, man. Great call on the strength today. I know you're frustrated a little bit with how these trades are panning out for you, but here goes GameStop. We are at 75, so I might just take a piece right now. And again, there it is. It's another sticky note trade. GameStop long 1550. We have it, and there it is. So, so far so good. Obi with a minute and a half. Kill him with kindness. Let's go.
Yeah, I was remembering, Sharif was talking about how that Tesla truck was beating some other vehicles as well, Rivian and the Hummer. So I think that's pretty solid there, kind of potentially coming in. Again, you also have a strong tailwind from the market itself pushing that move on Tesla. So maybe that Tesla move getting a little bit more embellished than it really would be if you didn't have this market tailwind as well. But yeah, good reviews as well. Here comes Amazon kind of back through that 148. A little too early there, a little too aggressive on my part. But I think that again, we've got to reassess, refocus, and maybe come back a little bit stronger there on the closing show, right, Sean? So let's see how far this market strength will continue. But here's Sharif with the Tesla.
Subscribe and share the show that takes you into the heart of the market every day.
Did you like that?
Wow, now the trash. Oh shit.
Oh, Kathy Wood. Hello.
Oh, Kathy Wood. You want us to hit the Sharif thing again? Okay.
Oh, okay. All right.
This is not my request.
The market every day.
Look, orders come from higher up.
Sharif, I'm still right here, bro. I mean, you know, I'm going to come up with something. There goes GameStop. Nice. Look at that handsome individual there. GameStop, nice little upside move there. We did take two pieces out. One at 72s because I thought it was stopping, and then once again here at 75. Okay, without any further ado, man, whether or not they're going to trade Tesla or not, I don't know, but it is hot fire there today, guys. So good luck with Tesla as this market is really moving around. Let's go GameStop, and let's go. Thanks, Obi, again for the great show. It's Learn to Trade here with Sharif. Tell him what's up today. Fear and greed is what they're going to be talking about, both of which
Good topics.
are important to master. All right, over to these guys. Thank you for watching. Me and this guy are back at 2 o'clock. See you then.
Thank you very much for that, Katina. Man, what is up, beautiful people? Welcome to Learn How to Trade, formerly known as the Midday